It's gonna help the common man.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What is on your mind today? How can I help you? First, let me get my call screener up. That's where you come in. You tell us your problem, your question, your complaint, and we put you on the air. First and foremost, we solve problems, we answer questions, we take complaints, and we make your life just a little easier. That's what we do. And we talk about various topics near and dear to your heart and pocketbook. That's really what it's all about here. And if you ever need help, all you have to do is call 303-MARTINO. You can call that 24/7. That's right. Just leave a message. We'll get back to you when we're on the air. It'll come here. Or you can call 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Susie, we're going to start out the festivities with you. You have a problem with a townhome community you're living in. What's going on, Susie?
Yes, we live in mostly senior, 40 duplex units here in Greeley.
Now, you say mostly senior. Is it required to be senior, or is it just...
it's not required, but I would say either 100% or maybe 98% is senior. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what's going on?
Well, we had beautiful lawns a year ago, and they came in with Roundup and sprayed and killed all of our lawns.
Who killed the lawns?
Well, the lawn company. The lawn company that they had.
Now, why would a lawn company use Roundup on the lawn, or was it an overspray by mistake? I mean, obviously, does the homeowners association... Well, what does the HOA say?
There was 3 different ones in the town that was sprayed, and they all lost their lawns.
Well, what are they doing about it at the lawn service? What are they doing about it?
Well, we had a meeting in May, and they asked us to vote yes or no on $1,500 for each one of us to replace those lawns.
That's called a capital assessment, yes.
And but the meeting recently, they had upped that price to $2,100, and there was no vote on that. It was just what $2,100. Or $60.
Well, okay, now, Susie, depending on the... I just want to explain something. When people move into townhomes or condos or any kind of congregate living facility where there's an HOA, bylaws dictate what happens with special assessments. Sometimes a special assessment can be voted in by just the board. Sometimes it requires a certain participation of homeowners. For example, 75%. It depends on what your bylaws say. In your bylaws, do you know what is required for them to increase your fees? Do you know?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, you can find that out. It's very easy to find out. But what are they saying they're going to do? Let's just put it that way. Are they going to raise your fees?
Well, I'm sure that... yes, it's been talked about.
Now, are they going to do it as a lump sum, or are they going to do it as a monthly thing?
No, now we have the option of either paying $2,100 up front or $60 a month until that $2,100 is paid for, which is 35 months.
Well, okay. You understand that they have a right to do that mostly. But what you're upset about is it was the lawn company's fault.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, the HOA needs to take that up. In other words,
they have, but the lawn company wasn't insured for this type of thing, and we had insurance here. However, there was a clause in it, of course, that said any workmanship was exempted that.
What's the name of the lawn service?
Rainway.
And Rainway, what do they say? They say they're not going to chip in or help?
Well, I mean, this is their estimation from Rainway. Now, I'm not positive.
Well, no, what do they say?
They have an itemized statement thing here that says that's what they're going to do. Is they're going to resod our areas.
Wait. They're getting paid. They're getting paid for this?
No, we're paying for it.
I understand that. You're paying the lawn company that destroyed the lawn. You're paying them to do the lawn again.
Now, I'm not sure it's the same lawn company. That's what I'm not sure of.
Well, what company destroyed it? Rainway, you said.
Well, Rainway is the one that is coming back to resod and everything. But I'm not sure that they are the ones that destroyed it. I'm not sure about that.
Susie, I got a simple question. Is the HOA going after the landscape company that destroyed the lawn? That's a simple question. Are they going after them?
Well, yes, they did, but they only got $8,000.
Okay, then that answers me. It's done. If you're calling me to find out if this is legit, most likely it is. Homeowners associations are allowed special assessments. In fact, Frank Duran, the real estate man, when we talk about this, when we talk about buying congregate living facilities, whether it be townhomes or condos, Frank, how do you guys do a due diligence with an HOA or with taxing districts in the area to see if people will be popped with a special assessment? How do you do that? Now, it's impossible to know at all, but what do you do?
So, Tom, we check with the HOA directly, but also we look at those bylaws, covenants. We look at the minutes meetings, too.
Right.
That'll tell you.
So, it'll give you a hint. Well, right? You actually look at the meeting minutes to see if they've been discussing one.
Yes, because they could be discussing one. And we also talk with the owners, too. If we're listing the home, of course, if we're on the buy side, then we go through that agent to ask the owner if they're aware of any of this.
Do you have to tell people about an assessment?
If you're aware of one, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Here's the problem, Susie. You're stuck with it. Honest to goodness, Susie, I wish I had an easier thing to tell you, but you're really stuck with it.
So they can destroy our lawns, but we have to pay.
Now, hold on. No, that's not true. You ask, do you have to pay the assessment? Yes. Do they get away with destroying your lawn? No. Your HOA can go after the landscape company. They did go after the landscape company. The landscape company paid $8,000. The HOA must have made a decision to settle rather than take all of the time and energy to go through a lawsuit and end up getting nothing, because these guys could end up bankrupt. So the quick answer is yes, they can do it, and they can get away with whatever they can pay. That's how it works in real life. Absolutely, positively, no qualms. That's the way it is. People only insure for what they're worth. Let me give you an example. If you have a senior citizen who lives in a house, has hardly any equity, and only Social Security income, what do they insure? Nothing. They don't need to. But if you're a millionaire and you have lots of equity in properties, you insure a lot, because you want to insure what you're worth. This landscape company probably did not have a lot of insurance because they figure they're not worth much and they can simply go bankrupt. So you end up with an assessment. So tip number one today, when buying into a community that has an HOA and taxing districts, make sure you do your due diligence, reading minutes of meetings going back a year. Also look into improvements that might have to be made, and then local taxing districts like sewer districts and water districts and fire districts, because if they decide to raise a mill levy, you could end up with paying more. Also, if the HOA does improvements, you could get a capital assessment. This is wise information for anyone dealing in real estate. I'm Tom Martino.
Hey, brother, good to see you.
Hey, man.
I was here, I didn't know how to get in.
I'm so sorry, Frankie. No, sir.
And then I thought I had to wear a mask.
I told him we want to see his face. Ugly as it is, we should give him some airtime.
That was very professional. Thank you. Very good. What you answered was really good.
God bless you.
Would it have made a difference in this case? The HOA did everything right.
Yes, they did. They absolutely did. But still.
The only thing they did wrong was they should have checked before they hired the landscape company to make
All right,
sure
let's talk about Joe Lazzara. He's a criminal defense attorney. Here's the message. If you are in trouble, don't go rushing to find an attorney when you're under pressure. You don't make wise decisions. You end up paying a retainer up front and not knowing what you get. I did the shopping for you. I hope you never need Joe Lazzara. But if you do, I've checked him out. You can trust him. Flat rate pricing, free consultations. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris is my estate planner. He should be yours. Everyone needs an estate plan. Whether it's a simple will, maybe it's probate that you're trying to avoid, or someone just died, you need help. Or you think, wait a minute, should I get a trust? What is it all about? How about a Bible on death for my bank accounts? Sometimes you don't need an elaborate estate plan. Sometimes you start out simple and update as you go. Blake Harris Law can handle all of your needs. Maybe you're young, you just want to care for your pets or possibly medical directives. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Even prenup and postnup agreements. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Ask any question you want. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Download his article in 303consumer.com. It's 10 most mistakes people make in estate planning. That's 303consumer.com. Download the digital magazine. Blake Harris Law. That's 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Sounds good.
Good to see you, Frank.
Good to see you too, my friend.
I'm surprised with the market the way it is. He has time to come in. You must be so freaking busy right now.
Yeah, we got a good team with us too.
Yeah.
Which is nice, you know. But yeah, we've been running. Some nights, I remember one night I finished at 2 in the morning. We started about 4:30 in the morning. Just running.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you're not working, you're not making money.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
That's how I always felt, you know?
Yeah. Other people depending on me.
Yeah. How many people do you have working for you now, Frank?
So my wife just got her license, Tom. I don't know if I told you. So we have a total of 6 of us. So 5 on the team plus me.
Wow.
Yeah. So pretty good crew. What's good though is everybody's a veteran. There's no rookies. So it's hard with rookies. There's a place for them in the business, but it's hard for our team because I don't really have the time to train them. So I want to make sure it's people that already know
Right.
the business.
But you need fresh, you know, how many real estate agents are there in the Denver metro area? There must be like 1,000.
There's quite a few. My gosh, I think I read somewhere there was like over 30,000 agents in Denver or
What?
in Colorado.
30,000?
I believe so. Licensed. Yeah.
That's
Is
unbelievable.
that unbelievable?
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe there's enough business to keep everybody healthy.
Well, they say statistically the average agent sells about 7 homes a year. So, you know.
But you can sell, I mean, you know, can you say, if you were selling 7 homes a year,
Yeah.
you had a wife and 2 kids, could you support yourself reasonably on just 7 homes?
You could support yourself, I think, but you'd have to budget pretty well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like,
Yeah.
unless you got one mega sale.
Right. You do like a high-end sale or something? Right?
Yeah, but I would imagine the people who have high-end sales have more than 7. I mean, it would seem to me there's like a progression. You start off small and you get bigger and bigger. So by the time you're selling, like when you're selling, you know, big homes,
Yeah.
you've been through the ringer, and then you're selling more than 7 homes a year.
Yeah. Well, it takes like one big sale to make a difference of 5 sales sometimes.
That's true.
You know. There's so much to this. People don't get. You don't just get in this business. There's so much to this business.
Oh,
Yeah.
new theme song.
It is a cool thing.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 6:30.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's going to be a hot one today. Temperatures up near 97 degrees. We've got smoky skies.
Doc, how long were you down for with that COVID?
I was in the hospital for about a little over 3 weeks. And then, you know, when I got home for the first month, I really couldn't do anything. So I started getting better in February.
What was the worst symptom? You just couldn't move, or?
It was the only symptom I had was shortness of breath. I had no other symptoms. So once I just couldn't get my oxygen levels to appropriate, you know, to be appropriate so they could send me home.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. Remember this, if you're looking for work, they're looking for to help. They want to hire people to work in their kiosks at Cherry Creek and other malls and also the airport. If you're looking for a job, you can go to that website and find out more, realcbdthatworks.com. I do have a phone number I'll give out if you're interested. You can write to us, help@troubleshooter.com as well. And as always, if you use all caps, PETLOVE40, all caps, you can get pet products for 40% off until July 4th. That's pet products, and that's 40% off. So Pet Love, all caps, 40, Pet Love 40. All right, 303-713-TALK. Frank Duran, the real estate man, is our guest. We'll be talking to him about real estate because it's crazy market right now. Joe, what is going on, Joe? Joe? I don't seem to hear Joe. Let's check on him to see if he's there or not. He had a question about DUI. Meanwhile, Frank Duran, the real estate man, let's talk. Does it just keep getting busier and busier and busier, or is there any end in sight, or did it level off? What is really going on?
You know, Tom, that's a great question. And here's the thing. With this time of year anyway, it's historically pretty busy at this
Because
time.
people move before the school year, right? Or after the school year, however you look at it, right?
That's exactly right.
It's always historically more busy this time of year.
Yeah, May, June, July. Now, typically, maybe towards the end of July or even after the 4th of July, we see a little bit of a cool down. But at the rate we're going, with the lack of inventory, the low interest rates, I think it's going to be strong for a little while.
So it's mainly lack of inventory and low interest.
Low interest, absolutely.
Now, lack of inventory because people are staying or because people are buying, or both?
Well, a little bit of both, I think. There's not a lot of homes on the market right now. I read an article where I think over the last so many years, there's not been as many people putting their homes on the market. But, you know, real estate goes in cycles. You know that better than anybody else, Tom. And I think over time, especially when we get into the fall and the winter season, you'll see a little bit of a cool down. But I think we're going to still see the same situation with the low inventory.
All right. If you have any real estate questions, give us a call, 303-713-TALK. Now, Joe, what's going on with you, sir? What's happening?
Hey, Tom. I hope you're going to have a great day, man.
Thank you.
So I got a buddy. His name's Matt. He works for XL Energy as a tech for them. He drives one of their trucks around and works on HVAC for XL Energy.
Okay.
About 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning, he was drinking in his personal vehicle, and he got in an accident and took off.
Oh, my God. So wait, he took off, plus he was drinking. When they caught, did they catch up with him?
Yeah, yep.
And did they charge him with a DUI as well as leaving the scene?
They did. They got him for reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident. And then they did charge him with DUI, but he refused tests and all that stuff. So they just took his license. So
yeah, that's what they'll do when you refuse a test automatically.
Yeah.
So what's your question?
Well, is there any way he can just go back to work and just act like, because he got that idea from a lawyer. The lawyer just said, "Don't say nothing to nobody, and just go back to work." Huh?
Hold on. He doesn't have a license, right? I mean, they took it, and his attorney. Wait, did his attorney actually say go back to work?
Yeah.
Now they literally took his license.
Yep.
Why did he refuse test?
I don't know. You know,
listen, I can't tell you. I can't believe an attorney would tell him that. Now, I understand the practicality of that. How long will his license be lost? For 2 years?
Yeah, I think 1 year is what I understand. I don't know anything about it.
Or he loses his job. You know,
I know.
I can't say honest. I mean, well, yeah, I don't think I would continue, even though I would be so upset. And you figure, hey, if no one finds out, do they ever pull motor vehicle records for employees?
Geez, man, you know, you can imagine they would, right? It's XL Energy.
I want to check with an attorney to see what liability he might have. Hey, Deputy Dan, filling in for Suzanne. Let's see if we can get Let's get Joe Lazara on. Hold on. Let's get some answers for you. 303-713-TALK. Deputy Dan, I want to ask Joe Lazara a question.
Very good. I'll get him.
All right, cool. Jill, welcome to the show. You can get calls in at 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. We'll take all of your calls. And, of course, we hope to solve your problems and to answer your questions. Now, what's going on with you, Jill? God, anyway, it's amazing to me. What happens, a little noise comes on the line, by the way, when I pick up the line, it goes, some people think that's a disconnection, but so be ready for a little noise. Jill wanted to know what happens if her used car fails emissions. Let me go over that quickly. In Colorado, licensed dealers, actually even private owners, the car must be in compliance at the time of sale. What that means is this. A licensed dealer is required to give you a 3-day voucher. That gives you 3 days to test the car. And if it fails for any reason, the dealer has the choice to either fix it or undo the deal. Okay? Or make a private deal with you. I mean, who knows? But you can undo the deal. But it has to be within that 3 days. If it's not within that 3 days, you lose your rights for a refund.
Do weekends count?
I think it's 3 business days, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it reads. On the voucher, it'll have an expiration date, so you'll know. All right? It'll be easy. Now, if you get it done and it fails, they'll fix it. That's it. If you buy from a private owner and it fails, you have a burden of proof. The burden of proof is proving it failed and it would have never passed at the time of sale. Because, remember, it only has to be in compliance during that time of sale. So if you sell it to a private individual, and that private individual gets it tested and it fails, if you say, well, it must have failed, you must have done something, you then, they're going to probably sue you in small claims court or something, because most likely if they got an emissions test right away, you should have to undo the deal. Now, here's the thing. Because you're not a licensed dealer, there's no one to make you undo the deal. So in that case, you'd have to go to the buyer would have to go to small claims court, and they would have to use as an example or as a they would have to use the fact that it didn't pass as their evidence. Jessica, what's going on with you, Jessica? Welcome.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm calling because I'm having a problem with a landscaping contractor.
Oh, man, landscaping is a big deal nowadays because here's why. The landscaping business, I feel sorry for them because there's no demand, and then all of a sudden, too much demand. And, unless you're excellent at scheduling, you end up with people pissed off. Now, is this a quality issue or a company issue?
Both.
Okay, what's going on?
So I hired this contractor on the advice of a neighbor.
Who is it?
In a new development. His name is Jorge Ayala with Ayala Landscaping.
Ayala, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not do any research on him prior to hiring him because my neighbor.
Had you done research, what would you have found?
All kinds of negative complaints.
Uh-oh.
Google, Yelp, Facebook, Better Business Bureau. Yeah, he's a wreck.
Oh, man.
So this has been going on since September of 2019.
Tell me what the problem is with you. What happened?
So he did a flagstone patio with a gas fire pit, and he also did a deck extension. He told me he didn't need a permit to do either, which is a lie. He cut corners, and he made an absolute mess.
Does it all have to be redone? Are you claiming you got zero value?
Yes.
And now, how do you know that?
I've had multiple companies come out and give me an estimate and look at it, including.
Can you imagine? I mean, this is a nightmare I hear every day, and I just yet can't imagine. Imagine being into a contractor. You've paid how much so far?
$23,000.
$23,000, and you're telling me, be honest now, every penny was wasted, or can you salvage anything?
The patio can be salvaged. It needs a few things to be fixed, but the deck cannot, and the estimates
What about the
are around
pillars?
15 to
What about the
17,000.
pillars under the deck, at least? The groundwork for the deck. Can that be salvaged?
We're not convinced he went deep enough, and there's no way to know without pulling up the flagstone.
That's, if I was texting you, it would be an OMG. So now let's talk about this. What can we do about it? You hold on and let's figure it out. We got to go after this guy, keep him from doing it to others. If he's incompetent.
This is Denver's.
Why do people give 20?
I'm going to get, I don't have it, but I will try to find it. Listen, I'm going to go through my email right now. Listen, Dan, tell Joe I'll get right to him, or we can call him back. I'm so sorry. I would have taken it. I didn't see it.
That guy goes back to work for Excel. They don't, and something happens, he's going to go to jail.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Excel's not going to be on the hook. He is going to be.
Yeah. That's right.
I can't imagine an attorney telling him that. Unless the guy went to the Frank Duran School of Law. I mean, which I don't think is accredited.
That's accredited. That's funny. Is the bathroom the same spot it used to be?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That was a long drive, guys.
Let's talk about FixMyHome.com. That's the website for Fix It 24/7. The people I have in my home for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Right now, there is a true supply chain problem with furnaces and ACs, and Fix It was lucky enough to stack up a bunch of them. If you need a new system, they start at just $77 a month. If you wait, you could end up in trouble, especially going into winter. Now, this is not a fear tactic. The truth is, equipment is hard to come by. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. If you ever had to replace, check it out. 720-526-3939, FixMyHome.com. It's RV season. Well, actually, it's always RV season if you think about it. Why? Because an RV, recreational vehicle, or real vacation, it takes you wherever the weather is great. So to get your RV, we recommend Century RV. 2 locations north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. That's right next to Woodley's, west of Denver. Or go up north to the exit 240 to Longmont. It's right there on Frontage Road. They're building a giant state-of-the-art $10 million repair facility as well. New and used, CentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. Okay. Just chime in like that. That was good. You know, you just ask a question to make sure, just to make sure that I want you to listen. Sometimes you ask questions from a doctor's perspective. I don't want that.
Right.
I want you to ask from a listener's perspective.
Well, that's why I asked about the weekends, because I thought that's what people would want to know.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So current offer.
They have helped me for sure. You probably also heard me talk about Dr. Eric Doherty from Boulder. He is now the Director of Research and Development. This week, Blue Sky CBD is partnering with Resort Lifestyle Communities for seminars to answer all of your questions.
I'm surprised that guy's not in jail, Tom. If he got a DUI and he left the scene of an accident, wouldn't you think they would lock him up?
Opportunity to hear from Dr. Doherty. This Wednesday at 2 o'clock, he's going to be at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Littleton, and then on Friday at 2 p.m. at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Aurora. Get your questions ready, and don't forget, you still get 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW.
You know, the place that Dave Logan advertises their CBD products,
Yes, sir.
The two doctors that he mentioned are naturopaths. They're not real doctors. They're these kind of.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention. It's funny you say, not real doc. I know what you mean. NDs they are.
Right.
I get it.
You know, it's like the guys at.
How many times?
I'm blanking. What's the guy that comes in here with the CBD all the time? What's his name? I'm blanking on it. You know, the CBD guy that you have to come in.
Yes, Panacea.
Yeah.
Hey, Ant, I just said.
Okay.
AJ sent me station announce with the song. I'm going to send it to you. Okay, for next hour or for the rest until Tim gets back. They made it official with a station voice. Okay, so I'll email it to you.
Dr. Baumgartner, that guy is sharp. He knows his stuff.
If you live in Colorado and get your COVID vaccine, you could win some comeback cash. All eligible Coloradans 18 years or older that receive at least one dose of the COVID vaccine automatically entered for
Let me see if I can do a Martino here.
You mean Miss?
Yeah,
That's a Martino.
Well, look at that. I got it.
I'm the worst.
I got it to stand up.
No, not at all. He just said now I added voice to it. You'll like to make it consistent with the other voices. There was no problem. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to go to Joe Lazzara, one of our defense. Well, he's the defense attorney I recommend all the time. He's on referralist.com. I'll give out his number in a minute. Free consultations. I always say, don't shop when you're under the gun. Don't shop when you're under pressure for a defense attorney. And yes, you need a defense attorney when it comes to traffic, severe traffic, especially DUI. And now he's doing a lot of substance in general because people are getting popped for smoking. And Joe, do they actually call it driving while intoxicated when it's for marijuana, Joe?
Yeah, they do. DUID, driving under the influence of drugs.
And it's not a walk in the park, is it?
It isn't, because when we're dealing with drugs, we're not only talking about illegal substances, but also prescriptions.
Oh, okay. Listen, what happens in this case? We have Joe. Joe's friend works for Excel Energy. He was drinking, got popped with a DUI, and leaving the scene of an accident. Joe, how did he not do jail time?
That's a little bit unclear to me. I think there was something wrong at the jail. Something was going on at the jail, and they just had his 70-year-old mom went down and picked him up.
Joe, did he hurt anyone in the accident? Joe?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did he hurt?
No, he did.
Did anyone get hurt?
No, thank goodness.
Was another car involved?
Yes.
And when the other car was involved, the other person was not injured. Well, whose fault was it?
It was Matt's fault. This lady was sitting at a light. He came down the street and didn't, he slid into her.
Now, then what did he do? Then he took off. How did they find? Huh?
He bailed out of the car. He ran down into the Platte River.
You mean he left the car?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
What was he thinking? Was he going to report his car stolen and go through all that?
When I was a young guy, I drank a whole lot of beer before, but I never thought I was like, I don't know, man. I don't understand this kid.
All right, so he got arrested.
He's not a kid.
Now, so he refused all tests?
That's right.
And when that happens, Joe, what's the penalty?
So on a refusal, you're potentially looking at a 1-year loss of license for a first refusal.
When you say potentially?
You have the absolute right to request a hearing, a Department of Motor Vehicle hearing within 7 days from the date of the incident. And then you have the right to contest that. DMV will determine whether or not to revoke your driving privileges. But the revocation, if you do lose, It's a 1-year revocation. You are eligible for a probationary license after 2 months, but you're looking at carrying that interlock for at least 2 years.
He's got a lot of trouble coming his way. When is his court appearance?
I have no idea on that one.
All right. Now the question is this, Joe. He's got a job with Excel Energy driving their vehicle. I can't believe this, but his attorney told him, "You're not convicted yet. Go to work."
That's a tough call. He's technically not convicted. He technically hasn't lost his license. A lot depends on the policy manual, what's required there, on disclosure. But I would assume if he loses his license at DMV or he's ultimately convicted, he'll lose his job.
But how will they know? I'm serious.
Well, he'll be losing his license. And if he loses his license at DMV, the only way he can reinstate is with the interlock, and he can only operate a vehicle with an interlock.
No, but how will Excel Energy... No, seriously, I'm not suggesting people lie. But if he is convicted ultimately and just goes back to work, who will know? How will they know?
Well, a couple different things. I mean, if he's convicted and he didn't tell anybody, most companies, when they're insuring their other drivers to operate their vehicles, will run periodic motor vehicle reports. So they'll pull your motor vehicle record at least once a year. Once they pull that, they'll see the conviction. The insurance company will drop him.
Okay, so...
No, I have a question. Wouldn't XL know immediately that he was in an accident because if their truck...
How would they know immediately?
Well, because their truck was in an accident.
No, their truck wasn't in an accident. He did it with his own vehicle.
Oh, he did it with his own vehicle. I'm sorry.
Are you saying, Joe, when employees are driving, they regularly do checkups on motor vehicle?
Yeah, most companies that employ drivers to operate their own vehicles or allow them to drive their own vehicles, those insurance companies will periodically, at least once a year, pull motor vehicle records to verify that the individual is still insurable.
And by the way, if he ever did that, man, would that hurt his reputation. But as far as not being convicted and working now, there's nothing wrong with it. Is there really? Is there anything wrong with it right now?
No, technically no. I mean, he's innocent until proven guilty. He has not lost his license.
But there's no way he's going to keep a license, and he's going to need an interlock device.
If he loses at DMV, the only way to reinstate is with the interlock on a record.
And he'll never get a job doing that anyway.
Not driving for another company, no.
You know what? I'll tell you, I just don't see a way out of this for him, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for Joe.
Yeah.
Just as I'm grasping at straws here, I've been
go ahead.
I've been witnessing to this guy for like close to 15, 20 years, ever since he was a kid, and he could never listen to me, but I still feel this obligation. So he didn't take any of these tests. Could he? There's just no way he's going to lose his license.
That's right.
Or
an interlock.
Any way that he could keep his license right now?
Well,
Is there any way? Could he go in there and go, well, Judge, I was so scared and I was so tired. It was 3:30 in the morning on Monday morning, and I fell asleep at the wheel. I don't know, right? And then I ran down into the ditch, and the cops came, and I came out with my hands up.
Yeah, two different legal proceedings. So you have the criminal court, and then you have DMV. DMV is that hearing he has to request within 7 days. That hearing has to be within 60 days from the date he requests it. They will determine whether or not they will revoke his driving privileges. If he wins that hearing, he gets to keep his driving privileges.
Yeah, but there's no way he's going to win it. I mean, he didn't take a test, right?
Yeah, we can still, depending on the facts, sometimes you can win it. It is an uphill battle. I think the average success rate's less than 10%, so it's pretty small. But you got to fight those. And then if he's convicted of a DWAI, and that's the only charge, that may not cause a revocation. I still don't think he'd be able to drive a company vehicle, but that's up to the insurance company and the employer. But I have clients that have never lost their license.
You should listen. I'm going to give Joe's number out again, and I'm serious. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear Ross Kaminsky in the morning, Dan Kaplis in the afternoon.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, you're still a little slow on I-25 southbound after Evans, but the accident that caused that delay is now cleared, so things are picking up. On the west side, southbound Sheridan is closed right now.
Well, he's not throwing his life away. I mean, one DUI conviction when you're 19 or 20.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know, maybe instead of getting a job as a driver, he'll get a job. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe he'll get a job that has more of a career opportunity for him.
Sometimes when you fall hard like that, though, and you learn from it, you come back so much better.
Right. And like I say, maybe he'll get a different kind of job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certainly lots of jobs he can get now that you don't need a driver's license for.
Hey, guys, I got just a quick one coming up here.
Okay.
Like Steely and Sleepy. Plus, you have free adjustable base with your $999 purchase.
You know, new countertops do wonders for a kitchen. Throw in some cabinets. If you want a job done well and you want a price on the phone, if you're doing a fix and flip or your dream house, theartofgranite.com. I've known Mitch Fleuria for years. Don't you love having someone you can depend on? When I get on the radio and talk about people, I know them. I monitor them. Theartofgranite.com. Prices on the phone, tear out and haul away's free. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. And he's just a great guy. Theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. You know another great person, nice person, is One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Chappie, he owns the place. And he started out with just a couple trucks here in Denver. He's in multi-cities now, and he serves, of course, Denver. 24/7 service. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. You can get your entire door inspected for $80 with safety adjustments, hinge bolt tightening, lubrication, just $80. It's a great service to do every now and then. Or for any problem, you can call the company. And One Clear Choice Doors, by the way, has emergency service 24/7, and all of their prices are on the website, OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 720-370-3987.
So there's a ton of choices out there when it comes to choosing a plumbing company. If you're like me, you want great service, but you also want great pricing. Master Rooter delivers both. In fact, they're so confident in service and pricing, they offer free estimates in the Denver metro area. No trip charge, a free estimate. They've been on a referral list for over 10 years. Great service, great pricing, Master Rooter Plumbing.
I want to talk about what's involved in your valuation.
720-434-3406.
Are you curious when you should take Social Security? This is Kurt Cambier. Visit my website now for your free Social Security analysis at KurtCambier.com. That's Kurt with a K, CAMBIER.com. Kurt with a K, Cambier.com. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC, Investment Advisor Representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
Your timeshare sits empty. Travel restrictions and quarantine is the new normal. Over and over, you have heard we are all in this together. Meanwhile, your timeshare sits empty and useless. Month after month, your timeshare company demands your maintenance, mortgage, and assessment fees, amounting to thousands of dollars per year out of your pocket for nothing. Start the freedom process. Let Timeshare Freedom Group free from your overpriced, unavailable timeshare. Thousands have done it. Now it's your turn. The leaders in the industry, Timeshare Freedom Group has decades of experience canceling timeshares worldwide, legally and permanently. We're so good at it, we even offer a 100% money-back guarantee. You can keep wasting your money or dump your timeshare. Start the freedom process. Call Timeshare Freedom Group now because you have better things to do with your money. 855-48-CANCEL. That's 855-48-CANCEL. 855-48-CANCEL.
Timeshare Freedom Group, we set you free.
Hey, on that one that I just wanted to update on the call list about Lena on there. It happened 2 weeks ago, and they want to pay the thing on it plus $2,000 for the lawyer fees for the lien.
What are you talking about?
2 weeks ago. That home warranty, the plumbing happened 2 weeks ago. The home warranty company didn't pay it, and the plumbing company's already saying you got to pay $2,000 over for lien on your house.
But they already got paid.
No, it's $82. But they want now. The home warranty didn't pay for it.
Okay, okay. She had a plumbing problem.
Yeah.
And the home warranty wouldn't pay.
Didn't pay, but it was only 2 weeks ago, and now the plumbing company's coming back to them saying, you didn't pay us.
Did the home warranty company say they wouldn't pay?
I didn't get
that's
that much into it.
No, I get it.
Oh, thanks.
Did you?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah.
I guess we do that, huh? You're looking good.
Hey, you look good, man. Good
You don't ever age. Why is that?
I don't ever age.
No.
You just made me feel great, buddy.
There you go.
Of course, only saw me maybe 8 months ago. How much did I age 8 months?
Well, look at the presidents. They age amazingly in a year.
Imagine the pressure they deal with.
I know.
It's incredible.
But think of the ego you have to think that you are the one person out of 350 million that is called to be the president.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a tremendous ego. Bigger than Tom's.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like the presidents we would have had 200 years ago, much more humble. Like Abraham Lincoln or somebody.
Well, because, they didn't see it as a lifetime position.
Yeah. A lot different now.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. I want to help any way we can. So if you have a problem, remember this: the earlier you call, the better. I have Frank Duran, the real estate man, with us too. We're going to be talking about his market valuation, what's involved, and you won't believe it because it's free. Now, Lena, what's going on with you, Lena?
Yeah, hi.
What's happening?
Hi, Tom. So basically, we have a home warranty through Choice Home Warranty, and it includes plumbing services.
And by the way, have they ever paid in the past?
Yes, they have.
Okay. And by the way, Jessica with landscaping, with Jorge, we haven't forgotten you. I have somebody checking a few things before we go on. Okay. So Lena, you've actually had your home warranty pay for things in the past, which is amazing. That's good. You've actually had them pay, so you're not complaining about them.
No,
Okay.
no. So a couple of weeks ago, we got a drainage problem, and we had a plumber come out through the home warranty, and they came and did whatever needed to be done, and we paid them.
Now, who sent out that plumber? Did the home warranty company?
Home warranty company, yeah.
Okay. And they sent out the plumber, and then what?
And we paid the $45 copay as per our agreement right there. And this was on June 7th. And yesterday we received an email from the plumbing company, Bradley Plumbing Company.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Choice Home Warranty is not paying their dues of $82.50 for our job. So these guys are going to put, unless we make the payment, they will put a lien on our house, on our property. So we replied saying we don't know anything about it.
Well, let's break it down. Let's break it down. You did get value, and in the purest sense, Lena, in the purest sense, you are responsible for the bill. Okay? So my recommendation, if I was giving this to a friend or relative, would be pay it, and then go to Choice and get it back if you have a valid contract. However, it might not be covered by Choice. Now, you may say, well, I didn't hire this company. They were sent there. True. But there is something called quantum merit, which means when you receive value, you're expected to pay. Now, there are limits to that, and it has to be reasonable, but the $80 is not unreasonable. So I would say pay the plumber if they did the job. And then we go after Choice Home Warranty if it is a covered item. Usually drainage is not a covered item. What did they have to do? What did the plumber do to fix it?
So it was a garbage disposal issue.
Oh, garbage disposal.
All they had to do was like clean it up or something. But we're willing to pay. We wrote them immediately saying we're willing to pay $82.50 if that's a problem. But then they came back and said we have to pay a lawyer fee of $2,500
Oh,
plus
no. Wait a minute. They, okay. If they're saying there are legal fees involved, that's BS. I mean, did they actually, if they haven't filed a lien yet, or just to charge an extra $2,000 is ridiculous. And I would make it clear that you'll pay the 80-some. In fact, I would send them the money for that. Then I would call Choice Home Warranty and tell them to, have you called Choice to say, get these people off my back?
We did, and Choice said we are willing to write a check right now. We even forwarded that mail to the plumbing company. Choice is willing to write the check right now, but the plumbing company keeps insisting that don't write to us, don't talk to us. Your contract is with Choice Home Warranty. Please talk to them. We are going to invoice you $2,580.
Well, listen, Lena, that's Choice's problem is what I'm saying. They caused this. Will Choice take care of it?
I do not know about
Well, they have to. Lena, that is where your problem is. Choice Home Warranty has to get these plumbers off your back. I suspect that these plumbers sensed weakness in you and thought, hey, we can scare this woman into paying more money. I absolutely, positively would not pay the money. I would send it to the company and tell Choice they better take care of it.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that, and we were willing to pay the $8,250, but then $2,500 seemed ridiculous.
Of course it is. But does Choice say they'll take care of the legal fees?
No, they have not said that. They said they'll pay. They said they will not take care of it.
They will not.
Yeah.
They're the one that caused it. Listen,
yeah,
Lena.
They're saying we never refused to make any payment. They said it's just a couple of weeks.
It doesn't matter. It's still not your problem. They need to get them off your back. Are you kidding me? Choice Home Warranty has a problem with one of the vendors they chose, and now they won't help you. What's the name of the plumbing company?
Bradley Plumbing Company.
Bradley, hold on. Just hold on. I think we're going to make some calls on this. I'm Tom Martino. Also, more with Jessica and the Landscaper coming up.
Can it really be? A normal summer coming our way? Maybe it's finally time to fix up your home. With windows, siding, doors, and more, K&H has what you're looking for, as it has for 65 years. Yes, K&H has withstood the test of time. They did work on my first Colorado home 40 years ago. Hi, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I know the great value and service K&H provides. The best products, master certified installers, and reliable owners with warranties you can trust. K&H Home Solutions, a company to feel good about, knowing they'll be here for you today and tomorrow and many tomorrows to come. They'll always save you at least 25% off your home project. Book your own appointment now at khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com.
For windows, siding, doors, and more, K&H Home Solutions has what you're looking for.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
ABC News, I'm Aaron Katursky. The U.S. Supreme Court has sided with a high school cheerleader whose vulgar social media post got her suspended from the squad. In an 8-1 decision, the High Court ruled the school violated the student's First Amendment rights because it overstepped its interest in policing a student's off-campus speech.
It was actually a small win for the schools. Justice Breyer rolled back a sweeping appeals court decision that said schools have zero power to regulate student speech anytime the students are off campus. Here he said there actually are some circumstances when they can regulate student speech, particularly cyberbullying, threats, online cheating.
That is ABC's Devin Dwyer. At National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., President Biden delivered remarks at the funeral for longtime Senator John Warner.
John understood the job of senator was bigger than himself.
Later today, the president and the attorney general are going to detail the administration's gun crime prevention strategy. This is ABC News. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is introducing a bill today to revamp the military justice system. The Military Justice Improvement and Increasing Prevention Act calls for the military chain of command to not be involved in cases of sexual assault and harassment. It's a move the defense secretary says he supports. The bill's also in response to the death of Vanessa Guillen, allegedly murdered at Fort Hood last year after her family says she was sexually assaulted. More than 150 employees of a Texas hospital are out of work because they failed to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
More than 26,000 employees of Houston Methodist Hospital have been vaccinated against COVID-19. 153 refused on grounds that the vaccine hasn't been thoroughly tested. A judge has now thrown out their lawsuit, but many of those workers remain steadfast.
I do love what I do. I love Houston Methodist, and it's unfortunate that they're willing to let us go over something like this.
She and her former co-workers plan to pursue their lawsuit to the next level. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
I'm Aaron Katursky, ABC News.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
KHOW News Time, 11:03.
We're learning more about the civilian killed in Monday's shooting in Old Town, Arvada. His name is John Hurley.
Friends simply called him Johnny. They say he would do anything for anyone at any time. The 40-year-old Golden resident worked in the catering business and was about to take on a corporate sales job. Everyone who knew him said he loved the outdoors and he loved hanging out in Old Town, Arvada. Arvada police have yet to say exactly how Hurley was involved in the shooting and how he was killed.
Reporter Jim Hooley with Fox 31. Police have released few details about the shooting that took the life of Hurley and Arvada police officer Gordon Beasley. A wildfire burning in Eagle County continues to grow. The Sylvan fire is now at more than 3,300 acres. 75 firefighters are working the fire about 16 miles south of Eagle. Meanwhile, the Oil Springs fire burning near the Colorado-Utah border has burned nearly 7,400 acres. Officials believe both fires were caused by lightning. That's the latest. I'm Pat Woodard.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, there's a new accident on I-70 westbound just after the Red Rocks Amphitheater exit. You have solid backups to C470. In Metro Denver on the west side, you have another new crash westbound 6th Avenue at Sheridan. And then Sheridan is closed southbound at 24th Avenue because of an accident. Follow the detours there. The weather forecast, hot, dry, and sunny today with a high of 97. Tonight, some clouds move in and will cool off to 65. And then tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning with a chance for
Really, it's whatever you think is good. Maybe you do something on, I don't know, I was thinking something that, but we can if you want, or even some quick FAQs, frequently asked questions.
Yeah. Whatever. I can send you some stuff, see what you think. If we have a new team picture, is it possible, maybe on this next one, the one after, we can add that if we're do what? We have a new team picture?
Oh yeah, we can do whatever you want. Yeah, we'll have that done.
I see one of my neighbors getting a new roof. That's when I decided.
Mark on vacation?
They just took a few days off, yeah.
He fights for the consumer. He got me $70,000. If you have any issues with your home or commercial policies, call Matt. 719-726-0020. 719-726.
So what's the name of that green place we had lunch at that time? Remember? It's right by where we used to live at Landmark, and it was Greek food.
To take on the most pressing and exciting topics of
I can't think of their name.
Get the truth about the stories that affect your life. As only Ron Burgundy can deliver it.
Where was it?
It was right by the Landmark.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I know. Did you like it? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, Yanni's. Of
Are they still
course.
around, you know?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you. I thought you meant the one where we went with your son.
Yeah.
You don't pay a second until you're content. Only with
Yeah.
And Steph and all that.
About 10 seconds. Her right to next in a series of novels started by Tom Clancy that have already been made into a television show. Don Bentley, author of Tom Clancy Target Acquired, joins me Thursday morning at 7:05 here on 630 KNOW.
Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
Exposing liars, cheats, and ripoffs. The bane of bad guys' existence. Shining a light on the dastardly deeds of darkness. Here's Troubleshooter, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, now, we have Jessica, who's paid a lot of money up front, I think up front. She paid to Jorge Aiello Landscaping, for a flagstone patio and deck extension, and it sucks. If you guys have problems, I want to know about it. Why? Because we will try to help you. Now, Jessica, of course, had you checked this guy out, blah, 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 we would have known. But it's impossible to go back in time and change that, so let's just move forward. Does Jorge recognize he did a horrible job?
Yes. He's been telling me for months and months and months that he'll come back and fix it, and it's just one excuse after another, and he just doesn't show up.
Flagstone patio and a deck extension. Does the flagstone have to be taken out completely?
Part of it needs to be taken out for whoever fixes it to confirm that the posts went deep enough.
I'm talking about, you said flagstone patio. They're not on posts. That's on, flagstone is on the ground.
The posts that he added for the deck extension.
Okay, I'm talking about the flagstone part. Did you have flagstone put down?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Most of it's fine. There are a couple things that
That's fine. Let's call that a blessing and get right to the problem.
Okay.
The deck extension is the main problem.
Correct.
How much of the money in that $23,000 was allotted to the deck extension?
I don't have an answer for that.
Was it the majority of that money?
I don't know. We didn't break it out.
Okay. Well, we got to do that. Here's why, Jessica. We have to let me explain something about complaining. When people don't have a picture of a complaint, they don't have a solid complaint, they can't put a handle on a complaint, they don't know how to deal with a complaint. And what I mean by that is, if we call Jorge and say, Jorge, she paid $23,000, it all sucks, he doesn't know what to do. But if we say, Jorge, we see that she paid, I'm just using this as an example, not saying it's true. We say, see here, Jorge, she spent $23,000 with you. 13 of that was for the deck extension. And right now, much of that deck extension has to be redone. So she needs about $10,000 back, or you need to make it right. And here's how you make it right. What you have done is define clearly everything. And that's what we need to do. We need to find out how much of the contract was allotted to the deck. And did you pay? Is there a balance due if this was done perfectly?
No, he's been paid in full.
Okay. Why did you pay him in full?
Because we didn't realize how badly he had messed the deck up until it was done.
And what made you realize it was bad?
I think people were just coming to look at it, and we realized after the fact that he didn't anchor the extended portion to the house. Minor detail.
All right.
All the balusters are uneven.
All right. But you didn't see this one before you paid.
No. And the size of the boards he used didn't match the size of the original boards used, so he kept the original deck and just added on to it.
Okay. So, listen, we got to figure this out. We got to get an expert to see what it's going to take to fix, and he's going to owe that to you.
Yeah, so I've done that already. I contacted multiple contractors and had them come out to give me estimates.
What is it going to cost to fix?
Yeah, so Genesis, who's on your referral list.
What did they say?
And they gave $17,000.
Oh, my God. Okay, who else? Are they all in that ballpark?
Yeah, between 14 and 17, because they're all saying that it's going to have to come down completely for them to confirm if anything was done correctly.
Okay. Well, Deputy Dan, we got to give this. Whose list is Deputy Smarty Pants on today? I didn't get a notification.
Neither have I. I'll try to call him.
Let's see, we can give it to someone, but really, we need to call this guy, see where his head's at. This is going to be bad. This is Jorge Aiello Landscaping. I have a silly question, Jessica. Does he have a Facebook page?
Well, so yeah, he does. So I've done all kinds of research on this already. I actually hired a lawyer. I've served him papers. He was given a certain amount of time to come back and fix everything, and he did not. The problem is I don't have a valid address for him. We've sent him things certified mail.
You don't know how to get in touch with this. You don't know how to get in touch with this guy.
Well, I do. He'll answer my calls, but even if I got a judgment against him, I don't know that I could collect the money. I think he's operating illegally. He cashes his check.
All right, why don't we just call him right this? Hold on. Let's just get a number and call him. Scare the hell out of him. I mean, let's just do something. We need to find out about this guy. We need to really warn others about him, too. Jessica, I'm sorry, man. It might be too late for you, but we really, really, really have to help. Now, by the way, we will have some other follow-ups as well. We have Frank Duran, the real estate man, with us. Frank, when you're listing a home, what's the average time it's on the market right now, low to high? Have you had anything stay more than 30 days?
No.
Nothing.
Tom, honestly, this is what happens.
What's the market average? Market average.
Oh, well, market average, I think they say is something like over 30 days or so. I don't
really?
Have
the average?
Yeah, I don't have the exact number, but...
what is your average?
Gosh, within most of our homes within 72 hours, Tom. But because though, it's the timing. We're not jumping on the offers too quick. We could be under contract in the first 24 hours if we want it. But there's a timing to this. We don't want to jump too quick, but we also don't want to jump too late.
There's an art
yes.
to choosing the offer? What is that? When do you decide to take an offer?
There's a number of things, and I'll give you kind of a...
And you don't have to give away trade secrets, but I'm serious. Give us some generalities.
I'll give you a short list. What I'll do is I'll talk to the agent. Number one, I want to find out how well they know the lender. Because they might say, well, gee, I've worked with this lender for 20 years. But if they say, you know what, the buyer chose them off of Google, I've never done business with them.
So you want to know that they're qualified and get the loan, right? So if someone came with I don't mean to name drop, but Ideal does this pre-approval. Does that mean a lot?
It means a lot because they have the buyer prepared, Tom.
It's done, right? Yeah. All they need is title work.
That's it. I mean, in a market like this, you do not want to come into this unprepared.
Okay. So you recommend most people, they get, at the very least, pre-qualified.
Yeah.
But I think pre-approvals are strong.
Oh, yes, absolutely, because you have your ducks in a row. And it would be just like going into a football game. You'd have a plan prepared. You wouldn't just show up and try to wing it.
Okay. So you look for eligibility for financing.
Correct.
Then what?
That's right. We also want to know a little bit about the buyer, the situation with the buyer. Is this a first home they've written an offer on?
Why? Why?
Let's say a buyer or an agent tells me, well, Frank, I've been working with this buyer for 4 months. We've written 11 offers.
Oh.
Just having a hard time, and we really want this home.
They might be difficult to please, or they find too many things wrong.
Well,
no, you're right. If they wrote 5 or 6 offers and never got them, never closed.
Well, what I'm thinking, though, is you find out, you have a clue if they'll be more loyal to a deal. Somebody that's been out there, they've been battle tested, they understand what this market is, they're not just first offer out of the chute like that. They tend to be more loyal to the deal later on.
Okay, next.
Yeah.
Qualification.
Yeah.
And then finicky buyers you want to avoid. What else?
We also look at the terms. Terms is a big thing, Tom. I'll give you an example. We had a home. We had about 29...
The terms that the buyer is asking for. Give me an idea of a term that a buyer in a seller's market, what would a buyer ask?
Part of their terms, they might say something to the effect...
They have to sell their home, for example.
Or they might have to sell a home, a contingency. They might even say something that, you know what, we will cover up to X amount of money if it doesn't appraise. Versus the other offer, which is just as high, but maybe they don't put as much skin in the game. So we look at everything. We have to look at the entire contract. The additional provisions are huge.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So all those things.
That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
I have a question, Frank. Have the appraisals been coming in close to what the
what the
offer.
What the offer has been in the contract is written for.
Doc, that's a great question. You know, lately I've been seeing a little bit of pushback from appraisers, a little bit of pushback.
Well, they don't have to meet the offer.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So we've been seeing a little bit of pushback. We had one we closed the other day where the appraisal came in $22,000 short, but fortunately we negotiated the buyer would eat the difference. They'd cover the difference.
I think that the prices are outpacing appraisals. Yeah. And I think that's a common thing when you have, and then eventually appraisals go up because of the comps. Right. That's right. But when you have willing buyers paying more, it's naturally going to go more. Now, Craig had a lapses in his insurance. We need to talk to him about that. That's serious, Craig. Kayla wants to talk about an apartment. The AC has a problem, or moved into an apartment, and it's very noisy. There are noise issues that people come up against. Bill wants to talk about trash pickup. All of that coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
You know, for the past several months, you've heard me talking about my good friends at Blue Sky CBD, and we do know that a lot of you have now tried their balms and oils. They have helped me for sure. You've probably also heard me talk about Dr. Eric Dorniger from Boulder. He is now the Director of Research and Development. This week, Blue Sky CBD has partnered with Resort Lifestyle Communities for seminars to answer all of your questions that you have about CBD. And believe me, before I started with Blue Sky CBD, I had questions as well. You know, how does CBD work? Is it going to work for you? Can you use CBD with your current meds? This is a great opportunity to hear from Dr. Dorniger. This Wednesday at 2 o'clock, he's going to be at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Littleton, and then on Friday at 2 p.m. at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Aurora. Get your questions ready. And don't forget, you still get 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW. And that lets you try it.
Just real quick. Okay.
Lifesaver for me. You get that now for $15. Blue Sky CBD at bluesky-cbd.com.
All right. TheArtOfGranite.com is the website. The name of the store is The Art of Granite, and what they do is granite, quartz, marble, or any solid surface top. And here's the bottom line. You won't get better work at a better price. And one thing for sure, you will never get prices on the phone from anyone else like The Art of Granite. You simply call them, discuss your project. Remember, tear out and haul away is free. And all materials are wholesale. They even throw in the bathroom vanity when you have the kitchen done. 303-386-5919.
Attention timeshare owners.
It all depends. If you're buying a builder home, their contracts are different than residential. Here's what I mean by that. On a residential listing, right, let's say it doesn't look like that, you have the option to not buy the home, or the seller has the option to lower the price, or somewhere in between you might bring a difference, or whatever you're negotiating. Builder, you got to look at what their contract says, because it's not a cookie cutter contract. It's their attorneys that wrap those things up. You got to see what the terms are on them. So it could be a number of things, but I would say look at what the terms are with that appraisal.
Opening. It's called Martino Intro AJ Open, if anybody else needs to use it. I had no idea how to do this, by the way. I completely figured this out on my own.
Canceling timeshares worldwide, legally and permanently. That's why we offer a 100% money-back guarantee. Start the freedom process now by calling Timeshare Freedom Group at 855-48-CANCEL. That's 855-48-CANCEL. 855-48-CANCEL.
You know, nowadays, if you don't have a smart home, but it's getting easier and easier because of wireless shit.
Lenders want your business, but can they offer you an interest
I remember one time,
Ideal Home Loans can.
On the technology alone,
867-7000.
what I
If
spent,
you were to get Tom Martino recommending Ideal Home Loans, when rates go down,
my
you
house
get
a smart home. I had I had temperature probes in every room. I had switches, everything. But here's what's funny. It's all on an iPad, and everyone hated it because they say, I just want to turn on a fucking light.
Right.
I mean, it was like, it's sometimes it intimidates people. I loved it.
Well, Tom, if you had thermostats in every room,
No, we had thermistors, we had, we had a system where you could control each area, each small area.
how was it? Baseboard heating, or was it?
No, it was hot air. No, hot water. Sorry, hot water. It was hot water.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because with the gas, you can't do that, right? You have to have
Well,
a
you can,
furnace.
but it's very, very cost prohibitive because, well, it's also a lot of maintenance because you have all these freaking flues opening and closing. Then you have a brain, and if you choke down the furnace for one area, it really takes a toll on a furnace. A lot of people think that hot air. I'll tell you, the best heat is hot water.
Really?
That's the best heat in the world. Oh my God! And we have very little of it here, but it's the high. I'll bet you. Yeah, it's really
Good people. And isn't that what you really want in an auto repair shop? So you get what you need when you need it, and you get it done right.
Your new house is set up pretty nice down there, isn't it? Your new house?
Yeah.
That's good.
You don't need.
I set that up. It's pretty. You know, it's mostly wireless stuff, and then I have wired speakers.
Do you use your Cherry Creek home at all? Now that you have
When I'm with my kids, I always go there with my kids,
okay.
so I don't have to worry about our house. And we just have fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like our flop house.
Right.
It's fun. I mean, not we mess it up. I keep it beautiful, but
Right, you do.
we also keep it for entertaining because it's more conducive for entertainment.
Okay.
And it's really just a bank account. You know what's funny is some people think it's what do you call it? It's ostentatious or it's not. It's actually just a bank account. I just explained that. I mean, think about it. It's a bank account. It's far exceeding in appreciation of anything it takes to keep it.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise the money would be in a bank.
Well, could be another
Well,
investment.
yeah, but I don't think I would get the return I'm getting on this.
Probably not.
Ray,
in this
you know what I
market.
think? I'm damn near $1 million over right now with the comparable homes. I mean, think about that.
That's incredible.
And I know 800. I know 800 for sure. But I mean, Frank and I mean, we killed on that last condo. He set the record for the sale. Hi, Tom Martino. Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Really, when you think about it, water is everywhere in a home. You can get the best water system at the lowest price, whether it's conditioning or filtration, waterpros.net. You got to check it out, waterpros.net. Now, let's talk to Rima. And then we'll talk about Elaps's insurance. But Rena, we got an expert on for you, so I want to bring you up right now. Rima's here, and her van has had SOS inspected, the van. And explain what was going on here. Norris, what's going on? Rima, did you call with a problem? I can't find your call. I'm looking. Did we send you to Norris, or what's going on?
Yeah, they did.
All right, let me, here, wait, I'm looking for it. Hold on, I'll find it. Rima, there you go, 5 kids, you got a van, 1997 Dodge, and you have 147,000 miles on it. You bought it, I think 2 years ago, right? And in January, the transmission was slipping, and you took it to Cotman Transmission, and Cotman Transmission 58th and Ward. They recommended you rebuild the transmission and a bad pump and then the power steering pump. I mean, you spent a lot of money with them. How much did you spend altogether, Rima?
$5,800.
Yeah.
Yeah, $5,800 and oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to know, did you get your money's worth?
$59. No, I almost spent spent about $6,000 on it, and nothing is fixed.
Yeah. Now here's what I want to bring this out as well. Stan over at Cotman says, "Hey, I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to help her out. I've done some work for her I didn't even charge for." Now, I brought out 3 things that I want people to be aware of, what I call my universal truths, and Norris will back this up when it comes to autos. You have 3 main categories, okay? You have lying and cheating. That's one category. The next category is simple incompetence. They just don't know what they're doing, but they're not ill-intentioned. And the third one is the vehicle has cooties. It's haunted. There are gremlins, multi-problem. So if you had to sum it up, Norris, which one of those categories are you looking at, do you think?
I'm looking at category number 2,
gross incompetence.
Okay. Now, what does that mean? Did they rebuild her transmission?
Yes.
And what's still wrong with this vehicle at this point?
Well, the number one thing I see wrong with the car is that they should have never even begun to repair it. A casual inspection shows that it's got structural rust problems in the rocker panel, and the car is not even safe to drive. It's got compromised crumple zones, and they shouldn't even have. They should have declined to even participate in the process. No thoughtful mechanic would even start to recommend repairs on that car, and there's no way they could have missed it.
Wow. Okay, so did you do this while it was at Cotman?
I did it in front of Rima's house.
Okay, so Rima, what does Cotman say? Like for example, Norris, did she get $6,000 worth of work?
Yes, but it's incomplete.
How much would it cost? How much would it cost to correct the deficiencies?
Well, it's really not repairable, and no one should even attempt to repair it. That's my point all along.
Oh, but wait a minute. But it's not what they did, right? Is this just the way it was, right?
Well, yes, just the way it was with the structural corrosion, but then the repairs that they did.
But they didn't do any body repairs.
No, they didn't do any body repairs or any structural repairs, but the mechanical work that they did was just throwing money into a waste basket.
Okay, I get it. What you're saying, Norris, is if you had a place and you would have seen this vehicle with the compromised crumple zones and the bad body parts, you would have said, let's not invest in this car.
That's right.
She probably should have taken the $6,000 and put it down on a new car. And by the way, before you say no, Rima, I could show you 10 ways from Sunday on how it's a wiser idea to take money with low financing right now and get a brand new vehicle with all kinds of warranties. You're not going to get your $6,000 back, though. That's the problem. Although you probably should get a good part. I don't know what we do about this. Gross incompetence. Now you spent $6,000 and you don't have a vehicle worth a damn. In fact, it's dangerous, Rima.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you owned that? 2 years. Did you get into an accident, or was that sold that way?
It was sold to me that way. There was no accident on it.
Well, yes, there was. According to Norris, I mean, you didn't do the accident, but before you owned it, it was.
Yeah.
Did you know? Did you know it was a salvage, or did you know it had been previously damaged?
It wasn't.
No, I was told.
Wait, Norris, what?
It wasn't wrecked. It just has structural rust.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's causing the weakness in the body.
Are you kidding me? It's that badly corroded?
Yes.
Oh. God, Rima, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm serious. I got to figure out what to do. I don't know if Cotman I would love if Cotman could refund some money and you use it toward another vehicle. Are you driving this vehicle? Are you driving this vehicle right now?
Not much. It doesn't go far without exploding out the water reservoir or the overflow. I can't go far.
Well, anyway, Norris, SOS Inspections, the people you should get when you have problems or before you get a car. It's usedcarcheckout.com or 720-940-4752. Now, Rima, let me give it some thought on how we can help you. We need to do something. Maybe we find you a vehicle. I think we try to find someone, call Cotman again and see if they'll refund some money. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
This is Denver's Talk.
Brian and approve reverse mortgage by a minute.
84630 KHOW, Denver. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
You need advice, but you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as you can. Troubleshooter's gonna help. Come and
Who made that for you, Tom? That's pretty cool.
Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KM.
Low down to 65, and tomorrow we could see some thunder showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high of 87. Right now it's 83 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Cynthia Dale, 630 KM.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of
10 seconds of Brian and approval reverse.
$100 on a king bed for a queen price on top-rated mattress brands like Steely and Sleepy. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your $999 purchase.
O'Brien Legal Services. It's a law firm. Stay tuned for the website and phone number, okay? Because this is a real estate law firm. Brad O'Brien and his team represent people in real estate. Almost every single week on this show, we deal with issues where people bought real estate together. They're unmarried and no partnership agreement. And you're left to the whims of your partner. You could end up with another partner you didn't even want. There are so many problems that can come up in real estate. Or just reviewing documents. We had a guy who bought one and didn't have a survey. And now he's finding out all kinds of problems with the improvements on his property. All of this can be avoided for a few $100s. Just a contract review or whatever. Commercial, residential, lot lines, property disputes, boundaries, whatever it is. O'Brien Legal Services. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388. I talk about financing on this show, and I talk about reverse loans. Somebody said, oh, I heard they're bad. They're bad. No, they're not. In fact, if you get a good reverse loan from reputable people like ApprovalReverse.com, Joan Sullivan and her team, you can rest assured she'll do her best to put you in a better position than you were in. The idea is to tap your equity while you're alive without paying taxes on it, no matter how much equity you have. And then you get to use it, and you'll never lose your home unless you don't pay your insurance or taxes, but you can even use that money to do that. 303-771-3528, ApprovalReverse.com.
I just spoke to Josh with Bradley Plumbing.
Yes.
He went on and on about.
He just should go after her.
Well, he kept saying it was a different. He wouldn't let me get two words in. I tried to say. He kept saying something about Tracy Jackson. I said, look, he would not listen to me. It had nothing.
In other words, he was not talking about this case.
Right.
He was talking about someone else.
Yeah. And he wouldn't. And as soon as I said, let me just say something, he hung up. He kept saying, we're doing this by contract law. We have a contract with Joyce. Go talk to Joyce. Tracy Jackson, this, that. And it had nothing to do with Lena. He wouldn't let me get, and he hung up on me. So I'll be more than happy to go on the air if he's listening. I'm going to send him a text.
Can I email the Norse report to you, and then you call Stan at Cotman's and just say, why did you put any money into this at all?
Sure.
That's really the biggest thing in there. It's a rolling death trap, according to Norse. So I'll send you a report right now.
303-695-7000 or apply online at AmericanFinancing.net.
Make it like it is and make it like you want it. You've heard that before, right? Well, that applies to your home too. But maybe you don't know exactly how to get it done or what the options might be. Hi, Dan Cicchini, Dunlap Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. How about starting with a call to us? For over 30 years, our family company's been designing and completing first-rate kitchens and baths that, frankly, your neighbors would be jealous of. Where to start, Todd? Dad, they just need to call us. We can help. And now's the time. I've done a great job for only the...
Hey, Tom, that's easy top intro. You got like a sound like how'd you do that?
Hired a studio.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds good. I didn't do it. I didn't make it up.
It was a guy that is really just like ZZ Top. It's amazing to me, isn't it? So you can't use the help song anymore with the Beatles? No. Gee, we get blasted all the time.
You know, for the past several months, you've heard me talking about my good friends at Blue Sky CBD. And we do know that a lot of you have now tried their balms and oils. They have helped me for sure. You probably also heard me talk about Dr. Eric Dordiger from Boulder. He is now the Director of Research and Development. This week, Blue Sky CBD is partnered with Resort Lifestyle Communities for seminars to answer all of your questions that you have about CBD. And believe me, before I started with Blue Sky CBD, I had questions as well. You know, how does CBD work? Is it going to work for you? Can you use CBD with your current meds? This is a great
most of these homes within 24 hours we could go under contract like that.
He's going to be at the
And I tell myself, wait, don't jump too quick.
And then on Friday,
Because by Sunday night, it's tempting to take it, but by Monday night, that's really where the best offers
you still get 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW. And that lets you try the half-ounce deep relief balm. That has been a lifesaver for me. You can get that now for $15. Blue Sky CBD. CBD.com.
The Ripple Group sells homes faster and for the most money. Go to Gay, spelled G-A-Y-E, past the buyer's sign.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Frank Duran, the real estate man with us. Frank, I talk about OLS Law or O'Brien Legal Services for real estate. I wanted to ask you, what issues do come up in real estate from time to time that you can think of that maybe you've heard about?
In what I do, Tom, I don't run into a lot of issues like that. However, once in a while you'll get into a situation where title work is pulled and there's a problem with maybe a lot dispute or possibly even a situation where there's an easement. I sold a property a few months ago that was a shared easement, so things like that you got to be really careful.
No, if there is an easement agreement, you need to know you can live with it.
That's right.
Because I bought a home one time where there was an easement for where my driveway, the entrance, and this easement actually had a renewable clause where, what do? I mean, they need to negotiate in good faith, but it just leaves an open end.
Yeah.
And I was able to get by it, but man, I should have probably noticed more and more of that. And this was a long time ago, but man, Frank, you need to look for everything.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things we talk to our team all the time is be prepared for the situation. We need to make sure our clients are prepared for the situation. So like we were talking about earlier, with even something as simple as minutes meetings, there could be something they're discussing that's a potential.
Like a lawsuit.
Sure, absolutely. Trips and falls, we hear about that all the time with HOAs.
You know, people, listen, there are some people that live, well, I'm just going to tell you, okay? I lived at the Landmark once for a short time. And, okay, the HOA was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in litigation. Part of the litigation was against an elevator company and the elevator people and the developers and all that. It had been so many years past the statute of limitations. I asked at one of the meetings, why are we pursuing this? Didn't anyone consider the statute of limitations? And their attorney, I call him Mr. Moron, actually said something to the effect that, well, there are exceptions and you can, get it to toll differently or whatever to last longer under certain circumstances, none of which, by the way, they had, nor did they know they had, nor there's something called an absolute statute of limitations. Yet these people were blindly, and collectively spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, here's the thing. You need to know if you get involved in a community where people are unreasonable. And by the way, in my opinion, attorneys take advantage of congregate living facilities. When I say congregate or HOAs, let's just put it that way. When multiple people each pay a little, it's a tremendous amount of money for a law firm or a management firm. But to each homeowner, it may not hurt, so they don't complain. This is one of the biggest problems in real estate right now, runaway management companies and runaway law firms. Because once they're established, they want an apathetic HOA. Here's why. The management contract will allow the management company to make decisions. And then they get key proxies from people where they actually can vote. And a runaway management company is due to an apathetic board, an apathetic membership. So what happens is they can vote themselves raises. They can vote themselves to hire somebody they know. You would be shocked at how many actual management companies have never been audited or asked for an explanation by their own HOA board. Because they're lazy. The HOA board's lazy or they're stupid. And they allow a management company to run amok. The management company actually puts out notices, you better respond by such and such a date, as if they are the government, as if they are the ruling body. And they are not the ruling body in an HOA unless you let them be. And any HOA that lets a management company run amok is crazy. You want to know when you move into a facility, a neighborhood, anywhere, first, what control does the HOA exercise over a management company? Not, oh, well, we've had them for years. No, they should review them yearly to make sure they're doing their job and to examine the budget. A lot of people think, oh, we got a pretty good HOA. They don't bother us. But what they do have is a runaway management company spending them thousands and thousands of dollars needlessly. And I'm telling you, it happens. And it's sinful because people go about their lives, they're paying these monthly fees, and these management companies are getting rich. And right now, if they're listening, they know exactly what I mean. And you're praying to God that no one in your community right now hears this. You're praying to God that they don't hear this and say, our ABC or XYZ management company, we haven't really controlled them much over several years. We haven't even had a board meeting. Listen, folks. If you're living right now with an HOA, you better make sure your HOA is active and watching the management company. And there are a few management companies who have most of the properties, along with a few law firms. And they rape and pillage every single day. Now, Kayla, you moved into an apartment and the AC is noisy.
So it's not the AC. It is, I moved into an apartment. It turns out it sits over the mechanical room or the HVAC.
Oh, the apartment does. Kayla, this is a rental situation, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it sits over the, oh my goodness. And so you hear it every time it kicks on?
So when it kicks on, which it was not on when I toured the apartment, when it kicks on, not only are the fans really loud, which I could maybe get past, but it has this intense, very loud, high-pitched noise. It sounds like a vacuum is running, is the best way to describe it.
Did you ever record it?
In my opinion, I have. I have some videos of it. I sent it to my new landlord, and I'll give you the express version of the response I got.
What is it?
I just emailed him and said it makes it unlivable. It's extremely loud. And it wasn't disclosed to me. And the response was, any space is going to carry noise without any personal items in it. And
what?
My personal preference, I know, a very weird response. It may be my personal preference to have a unit where mechanical systems are silent, but that's not a defect we're liable for. The unit is in great condition and there's very little noise from below. In the 3 years he's managed that property, he's never received a complaint.
Well, that is an appropriate response. I mean, they're saying tough luck.
Yeah, I feel like there's not much I can do because we're already in a lease.
Hold on now. Hold on. Kayla, wait a minute. If you can say to them, look, we can agree to disagree, but what do you say that I help you rent this place and I move and you just let somebody else in here and there'll be no loss?
I was actually told that there was already other applicants on the apartment.
Well, then that's just, it's just plain mean. If they could re-rent that place and you're willing to maybe terminate a termination fee to pay for the background check or whatever, I mean, really, I don't know why they wouldn't do it. Did you ask them for a friendly out?
I did. I just said, we have 5 days before our current living situation is over. I'm happy letting go of the prorated rent. I don't want to pay the lease
Now,
break
what
fee
did
because
you
it's
just
2
say
months
about
rent.
you have a few days left on what?
So where I live currently. So we're moving into the new place. We have 5 days.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're getting out of this place. You're leaving this place.
No. That's the new one.
Oh, the new one. Wait a minute. The new place that has the noisy air conditioner or whatever it is, or furnace, whatever, in the utility room, the noise coming from the utility room. You haven't even moved in there yet?
We started moving stuff in, and the noise was so bad, we thought, wow, they have to let us out of our lease. Let's not move any more stuff into this house. We have to figure something else out. And then I got a hold of them, and they said, no, you're liable for the lease break fee, which is 2 months' rent, which is $2,500. But we have to be out of our current living situation by the end of the month.
Oh, God, you're in such bad shape. Oh.
I know, we're kind of in limbo now.
No, is the noise that intolerable?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it would be really tough to watch a movie. It would be tough to listen to music. It would be tough to take a nap, relax.
Is it on all the time?
It is not on all the time. When we were over there moving stuff in, we showed up. I work nights. We showed up at about 9 p.m. and at about 12:30 in the morning, it was still. All right.
If these guys say, if we got these guys to say, okay, we'll rent it to someone else. I mean, because it sounds to me like they're just being jerks. But if they said that, you couldn't even do anything because you got to be out of your place.
I would be willing to put my things in storage and find another apartment. I'm not going to be homeless. I just don't want to pay to live there for the next year because it seems like it's going to be stressful.
But you've already paid, and what do they say it would cost to get out of this whole thing? How much?
$2,500.
I don't know, man. They may have a right. I want you to do a few things for us. Hold on.
Tell your smart device to play 60. All right, Mr. Green Jeans, about a minute. Also, Excel roofing. Life.
Getting 630K.
And then there's a red but I'll take it out so you can use it. Available on over 2,000 devices. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, the latest accident in the morning of mid.
Mr. Green Jeans does our lawn, Tom. Yeah. And our lawn looks like it's on steroids.
It's
so green.
2 left lanes with traffic back to Ridgegate. Further north,
That is
the
so,
accident
I know.
on 25
It's
north
incredible.
side of Orchard's now cleared. It's just taking a little time to get those brake lights cleared. The weather forecast, mostly sunny and dry today with a high of 97. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 65. And then for tomorrow, a chance for some storms in the afternoon and a little cooler, a high of 87. Right now, it's 88 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Cynthia Vale, 630 K-House.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale. For a limited
10 seconds, Green Jeans and Excel.
bed for a queen price on top-rated mattress
I'm going to
brands
substitute
like
Mr.
Sealy
Green
and
Jeans
Sleepy.
because Mark.
Plus, you have a free adjustable base with your $999 purchase.
If you have this is really important. If you have an insurance claim, don't ever do it alone. Now, if you did do it alone and you want to see if you can get more money, you contact a public adjuster at referralist.com. And I recommend Claims Pro. Now, Claims Pro is a great adjuster who will help you with any kind of hail loss or fire or water or anything that happens. Don't ever expect your insurance company to treat you fairly. I mean this sincerely. We have referred people to Public Adjuster. They've gotten them way more money. PublicAdjuster.pro. PublicAdjuster.pro. Now, speaking of people who we know and love, Excel Roofing. Speaking of insurance, Excel Roofing. Call them first before your insurance company and find out if you have roof damage. They'll give you an honest assessment. And when they give you a bid, it will include all materials and labor needed with a price. They're not ashamed to give you exactly what you need and then present it to your insurance company. It's so important that you get a company that you trust to do this.
Don't get roofers who knock on your door. Don't get roofers who say, oh, by the way, don't worry, we'll do whatever the insurance company wants. Don't. Get someone who does what you need. ExcelRoofing.com. Excel as in excellent. 303-761-6400. I know Jay Bretz and his team personally. Locally owned and operated since '93, more than 30,000 satisfied customers. 303-761-6400. 761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com.
Your timeshare sits empty. Travel restrictions and quarantine is the new normal. Over and over you have heard, we are all in this together. Meanwhile, your timeshare sits empty and useless. Month after month, your timeshare company demands your maintenance, mortgage, and assessment fees, amounting to thousands of dollars per year out of your pocket for nothing. Start the freedom process. Let Timeshare Freedom Group free you from your overpriced, unavailable timeshare. Thousands have done it. Now it's your turn. The leaders in the industry, Timeshare Freedom Group, has decades of experience canceling timeshares worldwide, legally and permanently. We're so good at it, we even offer a 100% money-back guarantee. You can keep wasting your money or dump your timeshare. Start the freedom process. Call Timeshare Freedom Group now because you have better things to do with your money. 855-48-CANCEL. That's 855-48-CANCEL. 855-48-CANCEL.
Timeshare Freedom Group, we set you free.
Home prices are out of sight, but the good news is you can fix up your home at record low rates with Ideal Home Loans. Owner Brent Ivinson.
There is this perfect storm to tap into your equity right now. Homes have gone up everywhere, so you've got equity to put to work. When you couple that with record low interest rates, you have infinite amounts of options.
303-867-7000. Now's a great time to tap your equity for needed upgrades, increasing the value of your home, keeping your payments low. Pay off high interest debt.
So imagine building savings and cash, getting rid of credit card debt, and paying your house off more quickly. It's a real possibility right now with the current interest rate environment we're seeing.
IdealHomeLoans.com. First, they listen, then they lend.
Rates have never been lower. It's the best way to go about it. Don't burn precious cash that you spent years to save. Tap into your home's equity, put that equity to work.
303-867-7000. 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, over-designed, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7750 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7750. Enjoy!
Veteran news anchor Ron Burgundy returns with the Ron Burgundy Podcast to take on the most pressing and exciting topics of our day. Get the truth about the stories that affect your life, as only Ron Burgundy can deliver it.
I've heard it said, perhaps by me, that you can earn a degree listening to my podcast. That's what I heard from my source. My source, that is, perchance, myself.
All right, second. Housing.
The only New Year's resolution I made 20 years ago that I've kept is never to see a Will Ferrell movie. I think he's the most obnoxious, dumbest comedian in the
Hi,
world.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Caleb, bottom line is this. Here's what you need to do. You need to get us a copy of your lease and that video if you can. I can't promise you anything, but one thing you may do is you may move in anyway, since you're going to lose your money if you don't, and then see if you can negotiate a pleasant out. Or we can call right now and ask them, Dan, who do we have available? We could call the management company or the landlord and say, look, she's willing to help make that transition. If you have other people that want that place, or would you be willing, Kayla, to pay for, how much is the monthly rent?
$1,300, somewhere in that range.
Would you be willing to pay at least 1 month rent while they do the transition?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, Deputy Doc, do you think we might negotiate something like that? She's willing to pay a transition period or help them, but why should they just knock her $2,500? But also, just hold on, Kayla, and he'll talk to you off the air. Deputy Doc, you called Cotman Transmission.
Not yet. I was calling.
Oh no, you didn't call Cotman. You called the other one.
I was dealing with Choice.
Choice. Now Bradley Plumbing. Okay. So Bradley Plumbing said this is a contract issue between us and Choice.
Well, no, here's the problem. Josh got on the phone, would not let me get a word in edgewise. He kept going on and on about an issue with Tracy Jackson. I tried to interject that we have no idea who Tracy Jackson is, and this has nothing to do with her. But as soon as he was done ranting about contract law over and over again, he hung up.
Okay.
So I just texted him saying that we don't know who Tracy Jackson is. This is a different issue. Are you willing to talk to me about it?
Okay. I would tell him it's with who it is. It's with Lena.
I did.
Okay. And look, here's the deal. I don't know why Bradley, though, is trying to go after Lena, because if he even said he had a contract with Choice. That's what he said. So if Choice did not pay the bill and now you've racked up attorney's fees, I don't know why you would go after the homeowner for those attorney's fees. It just doesn't seem right.
The job was only done on June 7th. So it's not as if they haven't paid in 120 days or 3 months.
What happened to the guy with the lapsed insurance, Dan? He hung up? People, I will try.
Yeah, he hung up.
I promise you I will get to your calls if you can just hang. Or leave us a number, and we'll call you back if you can't hang. RJ, what's going on, RJ? Welcome. What's happening?
Yeah, my wife's going into Icon tomorrow for her second consultation, and I just would like some information and just
Icon Eye Care.
More comfortable.
Icon Eye Care. What is she getting done?
The lens replacement.
Okay. Does she have cataracts, or is she doing it by choice to get rid of glasses?
By choice.
Okay. I don't want to run out of time, so hold on. I'll take you next. Then we'll go to Kayla, Gretchen, Nick, and any problems, questions, complaints. Plus, we have Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. This is a really strong, busy real estate market. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Can it really be? A normal summer coming our way? Maybe it's finally time to fix up your home. With windows, siding, doors, and more, K&H has what you're looking for, as it has for 65 years. Yes, K&H has withstood the test of time. They did work on my first Colorado home 40 years ago. Hi, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I know the great value and service K&H provides. The best products, master certified installers, and reliable owners with warranties you can trust. K&H Home Solutions, a company to feel good about, knowing they'll be here for you today and tomorrow and many tomorrows to come. They'll always save you at least 25% off your home project. Book your own appointment now at khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com.
For windows, siding, doors, and more, K&H Home Solutions has what you're looking for.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. An iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
ABC News, I'm Aaron Katersky. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled today a high school cheerleader's F-bomb-filled social media post after she was cut from the squad was protected by the First Amendment. The justices said school officials can police off-campus speech, but in this case, overstepped.
Interviewed a number of coaches who worried that codes of conduct that students agree to as part of these teams, as was the case here, Brandy Levy agreed to a code of conduct not to speak ill of the team, the school, or anyone else. They say she broke that agreement, which she made with the school. Schools are worried whether they'll be able to enforce those policies going forward.
That is ABC's Devin Dwyer. Growing fears about the Delta variant of COVID-19, now responsible for 1 in 5 new cases. Amazon's yearly Prime Day sales soared on its 2-day run. Total sales in the U.S. surpassed $11 billion. That's more than 6% higher than last year. This is ABC News. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Germany as part of a week-long European tour focused on rebuilding relationships with allies. Blinken is also expected to visit France, Italy, and the Vatican. Key topics expected to come up include how to deal with China and Russia. In Afghanistan, while the U.S. military is pulling out, many in the country are fearing the Taliban
will kill them once the Americans leave. ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz with more from Kabul.
The fear is everywhere. Abdul, we will use only his first name, was side by side with U.S. Marines in Helmand Province as an interpreter. Now with a wife and 3 children,
Oh, hi, this is Frank Duran. I missed a call from this number.
Taliban resurgence is near paralyzing.
They will behead us or they will kill us.
Like 18,000 others, he has yet to get a visa to leave the country, despite the U.S. State Department saying it is a priority.
The U.S. is on the pace to withdraw its military presence from Afghanistan by September 11th. Aaron Katursky, ABC News.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm not interested in that, but I do appreciate your call. Thank you so much. You have a good day.
Stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this: unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword Get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say Get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
K-Town News Time, 12:03.
A community prayer vigil was held last night in Arvada in the aftermath of Monday's deadly shooting that took the lives of a police officer and a good Samaritan. Arvada Mayor Mark Williams.
This is tough. This is something that a mayor never wants to have to contend with. This is nothing that a city council, a city manager, a police chief, others want to have to contend with, but we are now having to contend with it in our own community. It's so very, very difficult.
Police say Officer Gordon Beasley was after the gunman who expressed hatred of police. That's not the kind of people we are to take on delivery of alcohol.
You know, Tom, that's why I don't do any gimmick advertising. You know why? Frankie, I'm not going out on a limb. You're the best, but the best, though. There's no one that really did. See, you broke. No, I mean, you can't compare others to what you do. You just can't. I don't even know how you do it, but it's supernatural. Well, the grace of God. Grace of God, but you know what really is my blessing? Every morning, that first hour.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Depends on the morning, but a lot of times about 7 I start. You know?
And are you active when you're doing it? No, what I mean is, are you sitting down? Are you walking around? Are you exercising? Are you getting ready? What do you do?
A little bit of everything. You know what I do? I go in my living room, and that's where I just pray. And I'll just walk through, just praise God for our house. You know, when I was selling the landmark house, when I go try to light up, I just praise God. We needed that blessing, you know. We got blessed. Worked out good. We showed your landmark, I think, 21 times. Is what and then at the end there, we ended up with, I think, 2 potential buyers, and then the one that ended up buying it. Remember that weird one that called you?
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance.
No, there was one where you said she didn't have a real estate person. She was just nosing, trying to see the place. You remember that?
That sounds kind of familiar.
When they're injured and they say, Tom, who should I
run into some strangers sometimes. Really, real strange situations.
The other side will always try to minimize your
I have
claim.
a guy I met with. He says he knows you.
Feel
He says he cusses a lot on the radio or something.
You need someone who will fight for you. If it's someone else's fault, you should be paid.
He calls in and everyone cusses the job.
And he only gets paid.
A regular? Yeah. I went to see his house.
He's a
sweet little guy. An older guy. He's an older guy. Yeah. That night I said, man.
Yes, I remember. He said the other day, he said a swear word. He said F?
Yeah. You want me to tell you how?
More than 80 specialty tools available for your next repair. Refundable deposit required.
You've been through a lot,
Stop by
that guy.
O'Reilly Auto Parts and ask about our free loaner tool program or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
But in this market, we're not going down too big of a limb. I mean, it's if you price it right, you know how to negotiate it right.
Sells homes faster
Peak
and
price.
Go to Gaye, spelled G-A-Y-E, HasTheBuyers.com.
It's the Dan Caplish. All right, back in about 10 seconds.
You ever had a police chief now saying that Officer Beasley was murdered by somebody laying in wait to ambush him because he was wearing a police uniform? Is it time for Jared Polis and Michael Hancock and all the rest of these lefties to stop their anti-cop rhetoric? Join me at 4.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Okay, let's talk what is happening in your life and what can we do to fix it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. That's RealCBDThatWorks.com. What that means is if you have pains and aches and anxiety, it'll help you. You can get 30% off using Tom in the promo code. They're located right here. By the way, they're looking for people to staff their kiosks and also out at the airport or at malls. If you're interested in working for them, I would go to that website and find out more. They did give me a number. I'm sorry, I just don't have it right. Oh, wait. Yeah, I do. Here it is. I actually have it right here. They have a phone number. Oh, no. They have an email address. If you write to this email address, if you need work, human resources at panacealife.com. That's human resources at panacealife.com. That's the actual email for you to write. And that's really good because what we're trying to do is we're trying to help people get jobs, right, and fill their jobs. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to go to that email address for a job with RealCBDThatWorks.com or Panacea Life Sciences. Now, RJ had a question on LASIK surgery. Now, I had LASIK surgery to replace my lens, and I did not have cataracts. I just wanted new lenses. I didn't want to wear glasses, and I accomplished what I wanted. I have 20/15 vision. Sometimes when my eyes are dry or I have a cold, I have a little bit of a problem in low light with tiny print. Most of the time, I absolutely positively, for no matter what I'm reading, I don't need glasses near or far, and I love what I did. Now, I will tell you that they don't guarantee 100% of the time that they're going to get 20/20. But even if you would need a reader here and there, it would be way less than if you got the fixed focused lenses. The fixed focus lenses are going to be either near or far. The focusable lenses will let you see near and far. The thing is, even if they don't get it perfectly situated, it's still going to be better than the fixed focal lenses, no matter what. No matter what, it's going to be better. So that's what I wanted to tell you, that it will be better than wearing glasses. It will be better than a near lens or a far lens. It'll be the best of all worlds, and you just hope they get it close enough to where she will never need glasses. And that happens, but it's not guaranteed. But who cares? I mean, no matter what, I don't think she'll need glasses on a regular basis or even most of the time. And that's my opinion based on my experience and the people's feedback. And again, we're talking about they call it a clear lens exchange because they're exchanging your lenses. They're putting in new ones and taking out your old ones, and your old ones are clear, meaning they didn't have cataracts. So that's why they call it a clear lens exchange. So is your wife having second thoughts?
No, not really. She's going in for a consultation tomorrow her second one, and she's just a little nervous, you know.
Yeah.
But she's
Here's the
worn
thing.
glasses almost all her life.
Yeah, she's going to love it. The other
she
thing,
spends $800 a year on glasses, so I mean, it's an expensive procedure. But when you look at it, she could have paid that already off 2 times.
Yeah.
With the glasses and things.
But anyway, I'm glad that you are asking about it though, because I like people knowing about it. IconICare.com. So thank you. Now, let's keep going. Mac, you've been holding a while about BJ Construction on the patio. Deputy Doc handled this. Hold on. Let me just get this here. Okay. Tell me about your original problem, Mac. I'm looking for it right now. So here it is. That's the new concrete by PJ. And let's see. $4,000 was paid.
Right.
And he promised to meet with you, the guy, right? He said he was going to, Paul said he would go out and meet with you and try to fix it. What did he do?
He never showed up.
Oh, God. You know what?
And Deputy Ken called him up again, and he said, okay, I'm waiting for his call right now. And Deputy Ken told me, call him up right now. I called him up. He has my phone blocked, so it goes straight to voicemail. So, I mean, I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Oh, man. You know what? It's getting I'm telling you, we have so many bad people we're trying to put out of business right now. It's getting too difficult. I mean, I'm telling you, there's so many bad people. Now, Deputy Doc, this guy with the PJ Construction, he said he was going to call Mac. Remember that? He never called Mac. Never. He sucks.
Tell Mac I'll call him back off the air.
Okay. Do you have something to tell him on it?
Well, I need to get some information from him.
But you remember do you remember roughly it was a concrete slab and he said, I'll meet with the guy and
right. And
okay. Let's before we give out his number and before we do what's called going to war, Deputy Doc wants to ask a few questions off the air. Hold on. Now, Deputy Doc, what do you have that you're working on right now? I know I gave you quite a few calls to make. I also know Deputy Smarty Pants is making a call on Cotman transmission. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm making a bunch of calls. We are working with Lena to see if we can help her with the construction issue with Choice.
Yeah, now here's the problem with Lena. All we want is for the Bradley Plumbing to stop going after her and to go after the company they had the contract with, Choice Home Warranty. Choice Home Warranty, as with most warranty companies, they suck. Although Lena did say she had them pay some things in her past. But right now, they left an $80 plumbing bill unpaid, which resulted in $2,000 in attorney's fees, or $2,500 in attorney's fees. And Choice says we're taking care of it, but we're not going to pay the legal fees. Well, Choice, guess what? They're now going after Lena. So you need to do it. And then Bradley, of course, he got pissed off when we called him to get his side of the story, which is a bad sign. Did he call back?
No, when I first called him,
he got it mixed up with another case, which tells me they have a lot of complaints. And what happened?
Well, since he wouldn't talk to me, I sent him a text message telling him that we weren't interested in his problem with Tracy Jackson, to please let me explain to him what's going on with Lena, and I'm waiting for him to call me back.
Okay.
I also spoke to Kayla about her noisy apartment.
Yes.
And she's going to get me the number of the landlord. She didn't have it.
And I'd like to see that video, she said, shows the noise, or it lets us hear the noise. Okay, listen, why don't you call Choice Home Warranty while we're at it, too?
I'm going to do that right now.
Because they're the ones, they should take care of this with Bradley Plumbing, too.
Right.
I mean, they should not leave the consumer in the middle of this.
Exactly.
Now, Jeremiah called us. He had his leg burned. He said he used a static cling spray, an anti-static spray, an anti-static cling spray, and it burned his leg. He used it on the outside of his pants. They were dress pants, and it got through the dress pants. And I mean, it looked like it burned his leg, like it melted it, like a burn. And he was pissed off. And Jeremiah I'm looking up the exact case.
Didn't he though have an open sore that got into it? It wasn't just normal skin. It was a sore or
no,
a
he
cut
said
that
there was a small scratch. Right? So tell us what the problem is.
No, it was a burn.
No, before it was a scratch that you think it irritated, right? Didn't you say that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So right now,
so I had a small scratch on my leg, had the slacks on, sprayed it, and I'm guessing, I'm speculating that that's what caused the irritation to occur. But I don't know.
Okay, I can't find your original call, but the static people. I mean, what's the name of the spray?
So it's Static Guard.
Right, I remember that. Okay, so what happened? Did Static Guard ever get back to you?
They did get back to me. So the first email they got back to me was asking for the pictures because I had to reach out to their consumer folks via their website.
Right.
And so they asked for pictures. I sent them a bunch of pictures. They said they'd never heard of anything like this happening before.
Really?
So then, really. Well, whatever. So I sent them the pictures, and they responded that they were thanking me for forwarding the pictures and the product information, and sorry for my experience, and they appreciate me bringing it to their attention, and they're going to track this from now on in a database. And their solution is to offer me a refund for the can and some free assortment of coupons for free products from their company. So it's basically like, yeah, we're sorry. You had a chemical burn, and it took weeks to heal, and it was extremely painful.
And you know what's going to happen, Jeremiah. Unless you do this yourself, you're not going to get an attorney to take it because it's in the twilight zone. It's big enough that it was a pain and it really hurt you, but not big enough where you can even pay attorney's fees worth their time. So no one's going to touch it. Sure. And the other thing is, it's not a foregone conclusion that they did anything negligent. You see, if they have the same formula that's been out there for years and one person gets burned by it, it's not negligence. Because you can't argue that it was untested or rushed to market. It would be unfortunate, but they are not necessarily negligent. However, there are some attorneys that would argue that you get your victims as you find them. You take your victims as you find them. For example, the eggshell theory, meaning if someone's head is as soft as an eggshell and can sustain injury easily, you are responsible for those injuries, even if it was a minor a minor rear end collision. And the reason you're responsible is because you take your victims as you find them. You might find an attorney who says, look, I don't care if it's 1 in a million. It hurt my guy, and he hurt a lot, and it's worth this, and I'll take it. But I don't think you're going to have that luck.
Tom, remember, he had no medical bills.
Yeah, that's for sure a big problem.
That's right. So, Doc, which actor is it you don't want to see their movie? Which one?
Will Ferrell. I think he's the most unfunny, egotistical.
Why is that?
I just find him egotistical, unfunny, and stupid.
I find him really funny sometimes. The Anchorman stuff.
Even that commercial for Ron Burgundy is stupid.
What I thought was funny was Sinbad. And he was never felt. He was never felt. I don't know. I don't think he's in the limelight anymore.
So say goodbye to leaks once and for all.
You ever see the movie House Guest? He was funny in House. Him and Phil Harvey were in that. Yeah. And not a dirty movie or nothing foul, just funny.
0% interest when you call today. 720.
And he played Jingle All the Way.
0086. 720-573-0086. That's 720.
There you go. Rocky Mountain IV. Fix it. Ideal.
Let's talk about health. Rocky Mountain IV Medics, they do IV therapy, the same kind you can get at urgent care, the emergency room, or an IV clinic. Those IV hydration stores or bars. But you don't have to go there. For the same price, you can have the convenience of an IV in your home with a medical professional from Rocky Mountain IV Medics. It's that simple. You can do it for vitamin deficiencies. You can do it for overall health and dehydration. You can do it if you're not feeling good. Maybe migraines, hangovers, whatever it is, call them. They can be there today. You can call or text same-day appointments. I use them monthly, ask for the NAD treatment. That's like my fountain of youth. 720-987-2155. 720-987-2155. Someone just asked me, Tom, how can I get a furnace and air conditioning system for $77 a month? And believe me, the $77 a month isn't for 100 years. You're getting a great deal. The way you can find out, fixmyhome.com or give them a call, 720-526-3939. They put a system in my home, a beautiful system, and I got also a instant water heater as well. I love good stuff by good people. Fixmyhome.com, 720-526-3939. Maybe you're... I have ideals. All right, so Ideal Home Loans will put you in a better position than you were before you refinance. When I say that, people say, well, what does that mean? You know, of course I'm going to be in a better position, right, if I refi. Not always. Some people might think they're saving money, but then they go all the way back to 30 years or 15 years or whatever. With Ideal Home Loans, you can pick your term. So you get the low rate, but you don't have to restart the loan. The other thing is this. They can show you how to get rid of high interest debt, but not to keep that high interest debt, you know, that the washing machine and all the stuff you bought on credit cards. They don't want you to finance that over 20 or 30 years. So what they show you is how to get rid of high interest debt with the equity in your home. You have that low rate, but then how to take your savings and pay off the extra on your principal first, so it's not financed. You don't have a washing machine financed for 20 years. Listen, Ideal Home Loans can help you tap your equity, or they can help you just refi, or if you're buying a house. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
Tom, do you go to the gym or do you work out from home?
Both. When I can't get to the gym, I do it at home. I have, but most of the time I go to the gym.
We made a gym in our basement. Brennan's getting huge.
Yeah.
He's like
doing a good job.
He's like wearing my shirts now. he's getting that big. That's crazy. Yeah. I always tell him you got to see Tom. Tom's got 4 arms like this.
They're not really that big.
Yeah, you're pretty big, buddy. We usually work out at 10 or 11 at night.
It's hard to sleep, though, when I work out.
That's true.
It does rev me up.
It revs you up, and it takes a while to unwind. You do a lot of protein and stuff?
Normal. Too much protein turns to sugar. But no carb. I try not to eat any carbs.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you can only be, you know, obviously there's no such thing as, there's always carbs somewhere.
Yeah,
but I don't intentionally eat them, ever.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart.
What about protein shakes? Do you think those are bad for you?
Sportsbook. The Team USA women's soccer roster for the Olympics.
When they sell GMC?
and Golden, Colorado native Lindsey Horan joined the 18-player roster. Replay will begin July 21st against Sweden. That-day baseball for the Rockies today when they take on the Mariners.
What do you think of those protein shakes, Tom, that you get like GMC or something?
See, if I'm going to have protein, I want to eat it.
Yeah.
Just because I want to enjoy it. And a shake goes too fast. So, you know, unless you have trouble getting enough protein, you don't really need them.
Right.
I mean, you really don't. I mean, protein is easy to get. I don't know why people do supplements, but I guess they don't eat enough.
Sometimes it's quick though.
Well, yeah, if that's what you want. If you want a meal substitute, okay, I can see that. But like I said, I'd rather enjoy the protein.
On over 2,000 devices.
Hi, I'm Tom
Martino.
Troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Frank Duran. Somebody had a question about listing a home. How long does it take, because they're in a hurry? And I told them, by the way, that selling a home takes a little time, no matter what. But they want to know how fast. I mean, if they're truly in a hurry, they don't want to call. They're going to try these the home vestors, and there's nothing wrong with calling home vestors to see what they'll offer you. I mean, how do you go wrong? Call home vestors. Maybe it's what you want. 800-44-BUYER, right? But I'm saying to you, Frank, I mean, obviously, you're going to get more money most of the time listing it and selling it, obviously, because you get bidding wars and all that. But what I'm asking you is, if someone's in a true hurry, they don't want to do the buy here, pay here right now. They want to do something in between. How quickly, if they called you today, midday, how quickly can you realistically get a property on the market?
Realistically, if you really just slam things through, which I'm not a big fan of doing.
No, I'm not talking about slam. I'm talking about maybe doing it quickly, but I'm not talking about cutting corners where you can get in trouble.
Okay, well, yeah, no, what I would say is usually probably within, for us, we ask for a week, but typically I think if you really had to get it going quick, you could do it in about 72 hours if you had to.
Okay, so, and that's reasonable.
Or maybe even sooner, Tom, but we do the professional photography. I mean, there's a little bit to time.
No, I know that. Yeah. I know you don't put schlock up there because you told me one time, Tom, you only have one initial listing, and then people judge you by it, especially if you pull it off and have to revise it.
But let's say we took that route, which we wouldn't, but let's say we did. You can go out there with your own camera, get a front shot of the home, take a picture, get the information, do a contract, probably even list it the same day if you want it. You probably could. And still move it in this market. I just don't think you're as effective.
Right. You could maybe get it listed and then improve the listing. Are you allowed to update the listing with photos?
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, and then the long-term contract, you don't believe in if someone is unhappy.
Right.
Okay. And obviously, I say this, although it's funny because you've never had anyone, well, you might have people change their mind about selling, but you've never had, I don't recall anyone who's ever gotten pissed at you and said, I'll never use them, I'm not going to use them.
Well, thank God.
And cancel.
Thank God.
Right. But, so how long do you want them?
Well, here's what we do. This is how we do it. We write up the contract. We have an unconditional cancellation guarantee. It says written performance guarantee. They can cancel anytime. Tom,
right.
The minute we list it, if they change their mind in an hour, they can change it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And that's even, a lot of times we've already cleaned their house. Sometimes we stretch their carpet. We clean their carpet. We clean their house. We do photos. They could change their mind right after that, and we'd let them out of the contract.
See, that's amazing to me, Frank, that you would do that. So many people, they go through that work. They say, well, you're going to pay that. Now, what would really suck, of course, if they canceled and then try to go back to someone you had talked to. But you don't have people doing that, do you?
To be honest, people have been great. And really, you work for what you earn in this business, you know.
All right. Now, Jeremiah has another question. He had that static cling spray, that anti-static spray that burned his leg. And as I told him, he's in the twilight zone where he's not going to get a personal injury attorney. And yet there might be 1 in 1,000 that might take it. But in any case, Jeremiah, what's going on? You had another question.
Yes, sir. So two questions. First, kind of Twilight Zone-ish would be, all the women with the baby powder. Now, that was cancer, obviously, not a burn, but it was still a product that had been on the market for 100 years.
What are you talking about, Jeremiah? What product?
Baby powder. Remember all the ovarian cancer caused by...
But Jeremiah, yes, it was on for hundreds of years, but you also had hundreds, if not thousands, of cases where they could make a connection. You don't have that.
Sure.
I mean, if I had...
We don't know.
No, Jeremiah, no, we do know. We don't have them. Because here's what I mean. If it was that much of an issue, it's like roadkill. Let me explain. You can tell, and do you know there's a scientific way that rangers and forestry people, they judge the population of animals by roadkill. If traffic stays the same, they look at they can scientifically calculate by roadkill. I can scientifically calculate by complaints I've heard whether or not this is an issue. I don't mean just me personally, but ones I've heard because I check consumer things all the time. And here's the deal. Nothing really defective can be covered for long. So if you had more people asking the same question, then you get an attorney who's interested in researching. But you're not going to get an attorney to spend 100 hours on the hope of finding another person. Of course not. So what I mean by that is to compare it to baby powder is ridiculous. There were cases where they correlated more than 1,000 cases that all cross-sectioned on baby powder. I mean, that's not a guy who burned his leg one time with this spray.
Sure, right. So the other question was, you had, when I called in last week, you had offered to call them on my behalf. Does that offer still stand? What
we said was we would call them to find out if they had a comment. Now, you already called them and they gave you their comment. In other words, they've already offered you something, right? Or not? Am I wrong?
Sure, yeah. I mean, they said we'll refund the can and send you some.
Can I ask you, what would make you happy? And I'm really serious now. I'm not, by the way, just baiting you. I truly want to know, what at this point do you think you deserve? And I mean that. What do you think you should get for this? And I mean it. There's no wrong answer. I am trying to increase my knowledge of the collective consumer mind, honest to God. So I want to know, what in your mind?
I haven't put the consideration into that it's due. I do know that after weeks of pretty serious pain, et cetera, I'd want to put some considerable thought into what sort of compensation I would be seeking.
Well, see, Jeremiah, that tells me, Jeremiah, if you don't even have an idea, come on, man, not an idea. Because I know that let me put it to you this way. I saw your burn.
$17,527.
Okay, all right. So here's the deal. Again, direct correlation is number one. And then enough damages is number two. How many doctor bills did you have?
I got great contacts, so none. And I go to the hospital for free anyway. I don't get medical bills.
Okay. So did you go to the hospital for this?
No, I just talked to an ER doctor.
So you didn't go to the hospital. Are you a doctor?
No, sir. No, I am not.
Okay, but you're in the field.
No, I have insurance that's free to go to the hospital.
How many doctor bills would you have for that? What would it have amounted to?
If I was on private insurance, probably $2,000 to $3,000.
Okay,
because you're gonna go in there.
Yeah, that's going to be the measurement. Here's what I want you to do, though. You really should. I know you feel strongly about this, and Jeremiah, I'm not saying I wouldn't feel strongly. If I knew in my heart it was that spray, and people know it's not something else, it was that spray, because they just used it, all of a sudden it started itching and bubbled. Okay, if that happened to me,
burning terribly.
Yeah, if that happened to me and I was concerned, I would go to small claims court and go to the max in small claims court and list my damages. And I would make their asses answer this case. Now, you may not be able to find a local agent, but maybe you can. This is a very big company. We have more coming up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30.
They're both got their benefits and their advantages. They both have advantages and
Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Been here over a year. I think the last time I was here, COVID happened the next month or something, and then they shut everything down.
Cleared and the highway is back open. We still have about 30 minutes.
Is there a list anywhere of iHeart people?
You have good speeds with a 15-minute drive on I-25 down from.
What do you mean list of iHeart people?
Off highway, you do have a new crash at Colorado and Ohio. The weather forecast, hot, dry, and sunny today with a high of 97.
Just like a list of sales.
Yeah, I like President, Vice President, Regional District, Regional. I mean, if I needed to find people to contact for certain things.
I can look, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Your impact traffic and weather, I'm Cynthia Vale, 630 Payhouse.
About 10 seconds, simple floors and QC. All insurance coverage.
You know, from time to time, I need to, email or talk, and I always wonder.
Only pay. All right, there you go.
QCColorado.com is the name of the company, and the product is QC Quiet Cool Whole House Fan. I'm a true believer in this product, and I'm a believer in QC Colorado too. QC Colorado is simply the company that sells them at low prices and installs them all at one package price, and that will save you more than that, in my opinion, in at least a summer or two. I am saving 90% on my air conditioning bills from using this whole house fan. You got to use it the right way. You turn it on in the evening and in the morning, or you turn it on just after dark or just after sundown when you want to cool things off quickly, and then turn on your air, or keep your air low and keep this on only when it's cool. Whatever you do, you'll find that your air conditioning is working less. It only takes a couple hours to install, and no wiring the walls. It's all remote controlled. QCColorado.com, 303-800-3419, 303-800-3419. So, Simply Floors Inc. is the website, and you make your own appointment, and you'll see all the floor coverings you're interested in. They have them all, okay? In fact, most floor covering places have all of the same floor coverings. So what you're really shopping is the experience, from the price to the installation, follow-up, warranty. These people at Simply Floors Inc. are the best. Buddy and Karen Mitchell and their installers and their salespeople, you'll enjoy the experience and get the very best prices. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Thinker Ron Burgundy returns with the Ron Burgundy Podcast to take on the most pressing and exciting topics of our day. Get the truth about the stories that affect your life, as only Ron Burgundy can deliver it.
I've heard it said, perhaps by me, that you can earn a degree listening to my podcast. That's what I heard from my source. My source, that is, perchance, myself.
Listen to the Ron Burgundy Podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention timeshare owners. Did some high-pressure salesperson twist your arm into buying a timeshare? Did they forget to mention that the vacation times you want will never be available, or that it'll cost you more to use the timeshare than if you just booked online as a non-owner? I bet that salesperson also forgot to mention your fees will go up year after year after year. They misled you. It's not right, and it's not your fault. Whether you bought decades ago or days ago, we can help. Timeshare Freedom Group's Freedom Process has helped thousands of people get out of unwanted timeshares. Let us help you be free from your regrettable, overpriced, and unavailable timeshare. We are the leaders in the industry with decades of experience canceling timeshares worldwide legally and permanently. That's why we offer a 100% money-back guarantee. Start the Freedom Process now by calling Timeshare Freedom Group at 855-48-CANCEL. That's 855-48-CANCEL. 855-48-CANCEL.
Timeshare Freedom Group, we set you free.
You know, for the past several months, you've heard me talking about my good friends at Blue Sky CBD, and we do know that a lot of you have now tried their balms and oils. They have helped me for sure. You probably also heard me talk about Dr. Eric Dorniger from Boulder. He is now the Director of Research and Development. This week, Blue Sky CBD is partnering with Resort Lifestyle Communities for seminars to answer all of your questions that you have about CBD. And believe me, before I started with Blue Sky CBD, I had questions as well. How does CBD work? Is it going to work for you? Can you use CBD with your current meds? This is a great opportunity to hear from Dr. Dorniger. This Wednesday at 2 o'clock, he's going to be at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Littleton, and then on Friday at 2 p.m. at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Aurora. Get your questions ready. And don't forget, you still get 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW. And that lets you try the half-ounce deep relief balm. That has been a lifesaver for me. You can get that now for $15. Blue Sky CBD. at bluesky-cbd.com.
Pulling a boat on a trailer behind his car. The other 3 individuals were in the car also, and according to witnesses, the vehicle abruptly left the roadway.
Low rate of 2.25 rate and APR with no closing costs on a 15-year fixed loan. That's right, no points, no fees. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial, a trusted lender for over 20 years. Even if you refinanced in the last year, we can still probably save you money. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how you can save up to thousands of dollars a year. This amazing 2.25 rate and APR won't last long, and our new fast track loan process can get it done in record time. So call today, 844-425-3669.
Smarty Marty here at the studio? Or is he just working over?
844-425-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. Call us at 844-425-3669.
You don't pay a cent until you're content. Only with Excel.
5 seconds up.
Denver's talk station.
Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget Genesis Total Exteriors now doing solar as GenesisSolarCO.com. It's the best solar deal anywhere with 25 years warranty for parts and performance. No cash out of pocket ever. Full financing and tax credits are yours. And you own the system. GenesisSolarCO.com. So, Deputy Doc, anything to report on your calls you've just made? Yes or no? That's a real quick. If you have something, I'll.
Not yet.
Okay, thanks. And here's the deal: we have cases where if we don't get answers soon, we're going to call hellfire down on these businesses. I am tired of people being ripped off. My God, it's got to stop. I don't understand people, and especially that guy that promised he was going to meet and never did. We have to start letting people know about these creeps, and I'm going to. And then don't forget Complete Remodeling Solutions. Now, they're going out of business or bankrupt or whatever, but they did, we must admit, didn't they give back one of the checks, Deputy Doc, complete? They did, which is really good news.
Yes, they gave Mr. I think his name was Alan, $4,300 refund.
I thought it was Larry, right?
Or Larry Applehouse.
Yeah, and he had $4,000 he put down, and they actually refunded it.
Yes,
so
they did.
You know what? Maybe, just maybe, they truly had some financial difficulties, and they went bankrupt. They're with a bankruptcy attorney. And maybe they just, signed him up at the last minute and thought we better give his money back. Because I think a good attorney would take a look at all of their payouts or collections. And if you take money in too soon before a bankruptcy, it's a little suspicious. Now, Gretchen, what is going on with your 2019, that's a Jeep Rubicon?
Yes. On June 3rd, the radio said it needed to update, and an error code 20 appeared on the screen. We called Uconnect.
Now, wait. This was not your satellite radio, right?
It's the radio that comes standard.
Okay.
And it's in all Chrysler products.
Okay.
And that's how they update their navigation systems.
They download it. So you're actually connected to a satellite or something?
Must be.
It could be a cellular, so whatever it is, your Jeep Rubicon, you got a message that it was going to update your radio.
Yes.
And what happened?
And there's an error code 20.
Got it.
Uconnect, I know, is part of Chrysler. Not sure if it's part of anybody else. All new cars have this. So error code 20, unfortunately, this is the brains of the car. You can't drive it. It's disabled. We were told we could take it. We took it. This has nothing to do with the dealership we took it to. They were told.
Now, hold on a second. Hold on a second. What do you mean the dealer you took it to? You took it somewhere, and then after you took it somewhere, this happened?
No. The error code happened. I spoke. That's one of the only times I was speaking to Uconnect. They're a division of Chrysler. They run this software. They told me to pick a dealer that was convenient for me, which I did, and then they would talk to the dealer, the service dealer, the service company, and I can give you all names, but they haven't done anything wrong. They were told by Uconnect that they would send them a radio by Tuesday. We would just leave the car and they'd work on it.
Is this still under warranty?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this is
not the first.
This is a very simple problem. It just got stuck during updating. I mean, I don't think it's a defective radio.
Yes, it is. If you look online, Tom, you can see lots of complaints here.
Yes.
The whole entire radio, which is the brains of the car, must be replaced. I've been told twice that they're going to ship. None of them have shipped. Now,
by the way, this error code 20 on Jeep in that vintage, you're right. It's very common. And you have to take it to a dealer. Uconnect, I don't believe, is owned by Chrysler. They're simply a vendor. But Uconnect is the one that authorizes it. Did they say you could go get one? Yes, but they haven't provided the radio. Is that what it is?
They won't. They keep wanting to. They are trying to find the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But I also spoke to Chrysler directly. Chrysler says I must speak to Uconnect. They did tell me they were a division, but now how they do their books and separate that is not.
Who cares? I don't care, right? Let's just get this fixed. So what's the last you heard from Uconnect?
Uconnect, I've had 3 case managers. I have a case number. None of them will call us back. None of them will give us an update.
Okay. Was your vehicle, by the way, some of these code 20s disabled. Was your vehicle disabled?
It's disabled. It runs through a battery. The battery, we've already gone through 2 batteries. So my husband brought the car home so it wasn't sitting on the lot and disconnected the battery because it failed.
So right now you're waiting for Uconnect. Are you telling me without a new radio, your car cannot run in the interim?
Correct. We are out of car. It won't run.
Wait, we need to call a Jeep dealer. Okay, hold on. First and foremost, we need to call a Jeep dealer.
Well,
and
they're
find
very nice, but it won't. And I can tell you who I use, but they've been good with us. They cannot, unless you can find a Jeep dealer that has a different supply chain. I can't.
No, but I just need to figure out, what is this all about? I mean, you can't be the only one with this problem. Hang on.
No. I mean, I don't know where to start with this.
Liberty Mutual Insurance. Where you only pay for what you need.
From the Best Red Sports Traffic Center, the ugliest traffic out there right now is.
So basically, you just want to find out if a car can, if their Rubicon can run without a radio. All right.
No,
She said that.
No, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I wish we had a fucking dealer we could talk to. Can we get a Jeep dealer to talk to?
Colorado Springs Dodge.
Do they do Jeep?
Well, Chrysler Jeep. I mean.
Well,
right?
Dodge is different than Chrysler, right? Yeah, it's a different dealer.
Oh,
I think it is.
I thought that they take everything. Okay. Should I just get? Okay, I can do that.
Anyone who I want to talk about this. This seems to be a big problem. Let's talk about K&H Home Solutions. K&H Home Solutions, that's where you go for roofing, gutters, windows, siding, doors, and more. K&H has what you're looking for. And the important thing is K&H has been doing it for 65 years. I stress this because you'll routinely find good deals with them. 25% below market on all of those things. But their products themselves are not just generic products. They are great products. The windows, for example, the windows have energy efficiency, and they have been named the Energy Star Partner 7 years straight. Plus, they have the siding, Everlast siding, that is the best siding in the business. It's got a lifetime of durability and colors impregnated through and through with a palette of colors and Provia entry doors. And again, you have a company that will stand behind this company. They've been in business 65 years in Denver. And I know both owners, the one who originally started it, who passed away, and now Ted Rowland. You can trust him. KHWindows.com, 303-421-7100. When you're looking for an investment, you want something that's safe, conservative, but makes money. And I'm now telling you about Become the Banker because it is something you can do in addition to a qualified plan. You know, you're limited to how many qualified plans you can have. But with Become the Banker, you can always do that with Become the Banker. So here's what you do. You put money away in a tax-free account. It grows tax-free. And you can actually take it out tax-free. Find out more about this extraordinary deal. Or a pension for life. If you have a lump sum you want to invest to get income for life, go to mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com.
Monday, June 28th is Rocky's opening day 2.0. Let's do it right this time with both stands on a summer day when school's out and everyone can justify taking a long weekend or, quote-unquote, work remotely. Opening day 2.0. 3 can start, tours field. Go to Rockies.com today.
If you are looking for an affordable vehicle or you just want to trade your car in, make sure you check out the Sharpest Rides in Englewood. Their lot is full of cars, SUVs, trucks, luxury rides, you name it. What you're looking for, you'll find at the Sharpest Rides. Whether you have good credit or bad credit, they're there for you. Check out the Sharpest Rides in Englewood today.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless. Budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this: unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer. And start saving today.
Home prices are out of sight, but the good news is you can fix up your home at record low rates with Ideal Home Loans. 303-867-7000. Now's a great time to tap your equity for needed upgrades, increasing the value of your home, keeping your payments low, or pay off high-interest debt. IdealHomeLoans.com. First, they listen, then they lend. 303-867-7000. 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Managing the Rec Center, Susan's become a familiar face in town. She's kept herself informed throughout the pandemic and learned the science of the vaccines is over 10 years old. That's why Susan is getting her COVID-19 vaccine. She was a little hesitant, but she's anxious to get back to teaching her aerobics class without worrying about getting sick. Susan's powering her community's comeback. You can power the comeback too. Find a vaccine near you. Call 877-CO-VAC-CO. That's 877-CO-VAC-CO.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW. Then you can hear a Liberty. All right, about 10 seconds. Kaminsky, mornings at 6.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station.
On your smart speaker.
Available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. I have Frank Duran with us. We've been talking real estate issues. I have a few questions we'll come to in a minute here. We are talking about this Jeep, And it's really confusing as hell. We're calling dealers. Now, I understand Gretchen's problem. She has a 2019 Rubicon Jeep, a bad radio. It went bad maybe during an update, but she's getting an error code that a lot of people have gotten. And in some cases, it disabled the vehicle. And it's an error code 20. It's all over the internet. And basically, this 2018, 2019 Jeeps are affected by this. Those are the only ones I can find. Maybe there are others. And she was told she's going to have her radio replaced, but Jeep is not getting the radio from Uconnect. So really, what we're doing now is we're finding out how widespread it is and what some dealers have been doing. So Gretchen, you must have called other dealers as well, haven't you? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, that's going to be something. And by the way, don't roll your eyes, Gretchen, and think, yeah, I've been told that before. We have good people, and if they say if there's any way to help, they'll do it. By the way, it's basically, I'm reading more and more about Uconnect, and it's across many brands by Chrysler Fiat, and it's basically handling all of their technology for Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Jeep, Maserati, and Ram, and it's their multimedia system. And here's the deal: saying they're owned by them is fine. But they have no connection as far as you're not going to get Dodge. See, this is the problem. You know, Dodge is saying, well, we can't get it from
Uconnect, and you're saying, wait a minute. You're the same company, and they're looking at themselves as separate. They can't go over and just grab a radio from Uconnect. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if there's a shortage. I don't know if you're getting the runaround. You say it was under warranty when it happened. I would be frustrated as hell. All of a sudden, an update shows up, then an error, and then you can't use your damn car? Who's ever heard of such a thing? Your whole car is incapacitated? What does...
Well, the car will start. The car will start, but the problem is it thinks it's on, so you're running the battery it's like you're never turning it off. So you'll go through battery.
Well, it's for all practical purposes, it's unusable. So what do they expect you to do about it? What does the dealer expect you to do?
No one will help me.
All right, hold on. Damn it, let's give this. Listen, it applies to Dodge too, so let's give it to him. Let's give it to Andy down there at Colorado Springs Dodge, just as our helper, because no one else is listening.
It's ridiculous.
station, available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
ABC News, I'm Mark Remillard. The Supreme Court issuing a decision and a blow to farm labor unions in the largest agricultural producing state.
In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court negated a California regulation that had given labor organizers a right to access farm property to meet with workers when they're off the clock. Union officials argued it was essential to communicate with a highly transient workforce, but the court said it amounted to an unlawful government-authorized invasion of property without compensation. The decision could make it harder to organize migrant workers and potentially harder to regulate health and safety conditions.
Vice President Kamala Harris will make her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border since taking office. On Friday, she'll visit El Paso, Texas, with Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. In Washington, D.C., 4 people are hospitalized after the collapse of a pedestrian bridge. Authorities have not released a cause for the collapse. Fire and emergency crews are still on scene. This is ABC News. COVID restrictions ramping up in Sydney.
We're going to hit 20,000 doors. This is our door hanger. Check this out. This is our free over-the-net market evaluation, right? We do our Troubleshooter banner right there, right? We put a little disclaimer if your home's listed, you know, disregard whatever. 20,000 doors, buddy.
That is great. Holy shit. That is healthy. Wow.
You got to play the numbers game, don't you?
Yes, you do. Yeah, that's what we're finding.
It's a record-breaking year for home prices, with the median price tag for buyers in May rising above $350,000 for the first time ever.
Prices have been surging since last summer, and there are 2 primary reasons for that. First of all, supply. The supply of inventory of homes for sale is at rock bottom levels today.
I'm up in the studio. Are you actually in the building?
Demand is surging since the pandemic, which
some
might call the
I was going to go say hi to you.
People have raced out
Before I left anyway, so no big deal. Hey, and I saw that email. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I'll make sure to read it and sign it. When you get to that, bye.
To be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job.
Sure. Anything special that I should watch for? Anything?
All you do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you; it finds them for you. It's powerful technology.
But is it exclusive, like one page real estate, that kind of thing, or do you know?
So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
K-Hell News Time, 103.
There are currently 7 active wildfires in Colorado. The state's largest is in Rio Blanco County, where the oil springs fire scorched nearly 7,400 acres. Meanwhile, Pickens County is the latest to order Stage 2 fire restrictions. A fire ban is also in place at all Denver mountain parks, Jeffco Open Space, Douglas County, and Clear Creek County. This fire ban covers many popular hiking areas, including Red Rocks, Bergen Park, Lookout Mountain, and Denver Park. If you're traveling for the 4th of July holiday weekend, you definitely won't be alone. Roads across the U.S. and here in Colorado will see some heavy traffic. Skylar McKinley with AAA Colorado says the pain at the pump hasn't discouraged drivers. Colorado.
So, Tom, listen to this. So,
yes.
Choice said that they only pay by check. Bradley says, and then Bradley signed an agreement when they became a vendor to accept checks. They won't pay online, and he's saying...
Choice won't pay online.
Right. And he's saying, well, we don't take paper checks from Choice. And now he said, if they hadn't mouthed off to me in front of their client, maybe we'd have a different attitude. But when they say, good luck getting paid, your check is good, again, they breached the contract, end of story. Stop harassing me. Checks are not accepted, as their employee stated the following, causing Bradley...
Okay, so why is he going after the homeowner?
Because he said because
he's a pain in the ass.
And because Choice won't pay him online. So he's not accepting their check, so he's going after the homeowner.
Right. To put pressure on them.
Right.
And why won't Joyce pay online?
Because their contract says they only pay by check. That's it. That's what they said when they sign a vendor on. They sign a contract agreeing to take paper checks.
Because I personally use them. I'm consumer advocate Mark Major. If you're in the market for flooring, you have to check out.
So she's getting caught in a dispute between these two parties, and she's the one paying the price.
They also have the most beautiful lines of hardwood in carpet. They do free design
Just take me to court. I'm well within my rights, as I'm protecting the company.
The best service, the best prices. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
It's Mattress Firm's biggest 4th of July sale ever. Hurry in and get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen bed.
I don't understand how people get involved with that.
Anyway, with the Kaylin, the landlord, I left a message with the landlord to call me. So that's still pending.
Online purchase restrictions apply. Now the participating location on the property details visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
AC running non-stop, shocking electric bills? A quiet, cool, whole house fan is the answer. Visit QCColorado.com.
It's Ross Kaminsky, Works at 6. It must be a lot of pressure to write the next in a series of novels started by Tom Clancy that have already been made into a television show. Don Bentley, author of Tom Clancy Target Fire, joins me Thursday morning at 7:05 here on 6:30 KHOW. Sorry, Tom, you're back in.
Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino.
Show. Now, Tom Martino on 6:30 KHOW.
Yes, sorry about that. I am so anxious to get on the air, I just start shouting. We're here to solve problems, to answer questions, take complaints. Don't forget referralist.com for help, information, and referrals. Referralist.com. And my new digital consumer magazine, please. It's got great articles in it. It's not junk mail for damn sure. 303 Consumer. That's the name of it. If you didn't get one, you can download a digital copy at 303consumer.com. 303consumer.com. Now, Frank Duran, the real estate man, is with us. We're talking about real estate. Plus, we have your calls. I'm going to get to people who've been waiting a while, and then I will talk to Frank about real estate. If you have any questions, give us a call. Andy right now, he bought a state park pass, and we did some research. Andy, you may have thought, they don't care about this. We're not going to mess around with it. And we did. We actually researched because it bugged us. You know, when things don't make sense to me, I kind of get perturbed a bit. And one thing that didn't make sense to me is why would they acknowledge that you had a park pass that could get you into the park, but they wouldn't take it because it wasn't affixed to your windshield? I wondered, why is that? I mean, they looked it up. They said, yeah, Andy, you're right. It is yours. Yep, we see it, but you can't use it. And I said, why? How stupid. You know, you just got it. You printed it out. You didn't affix it. And then they told us it's very simple. Here's their policy. It has to be affixed to a windshield. And I said, of course, or Deputy Dan said, why? And they said, here's why. People have photocopied those and bought one membership, and 10 different people use it. And we simply, to cut down on that, we make them put it on the windshield and attach it. So there's less likelihood of more than one person using it, which to me doesn't, okay, that's their excuse, which makes sense. But then again, my question is, what's to prevent them from copying them and putting them all on windshields? I don't know. Let me ask you something, Andy. Is it a special sticker or is it something you print out yourself?
It's a tag. It's kind of laminated. It's perforated in several different. It's about a 2-inch by 3-inch tag, And the
okay,
one that I got was
so it's not something you photocopied. It's something that they mean people were passing them around.
Yeah, you get it through the mail. You can't print it out. It's not on a piece of paper. It's on a laminated.
I got it. So the reason, I guess the reason they want it attached to the windshield is so people can't pass it around or something.
Yeah, that makes sense if you have the park pass for the individual. I had the park pass for the family, so I was able to pass it around.
Oh, my God. Okay. And what did they want you to do? Does it have a sticky part where you stick it to the windshield?
Yeah, it does. But what they apparently it doesn't stick. It doesn't work. I don't know. It didn't work for me, so I just put it in a Ziploc. But I guess there's something else that you're supposed to get. That you hang it on your rear view mirror visor.
Yeah.
It has a little a hole in it, so you can just put it on your visor, and you're supposed to tape it to this piece of plastic. I guess it has the Colorado emblem on it. However, I never did get one of those, and I didn't even know you were supposed to get one of those until after I researched it, and after I found out that the tag I had doesn't work. I realized that they want you to put it to this thing that I didn't get.
Well,
So
will they send you one? Since you have a genuine membership, can't you go online or call them and have them send you one?
Well, I called them and I told them my situation, and they said that I can go into one of the offices and speak to them about it. And so
I think if you went into an office, and brought the pass and say, listen, for goodness sakes, I don't have the thing that puts it on the visor. Can you give me a clip? I'm sure they'll give it to you, Andy. Because, I mean, this is getting to be ridiculous. All the poor guy wants is to use a park. Has anyone else had trouble like this? Give us a call. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Andy, you're going to have to go into the office and bring the card with you. I'm sorry for the hassle. John, welcome. What's going on, John?
Hey, I'm having trouble with my... I've got in an accident at Walmart.
Yeah, what kind of accident?
With their carts, rolling carts.
Okay,
Right
just tell me the story. What happened? You were at Walmart, and what did you do?
Well, she fell down and broke her hip.
Your wife. Now, how did it happen? Did somebody run into her with a cart? Was she pushing a cart? I just need to know a few more details, John.
The cart just fell over right at the door.
The cart fell over. You're talking about a shopping cart, right?
Yeah, a shopping cart.
Okay. Now, she's pushing the shopping cart. Is that right?
No, what? No, she was riding it.
Oh, you mean it's one of the motorized ones?
Yeah.
Oh, and they provide, do they provide those for people with disabilities?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and she was riding this into the supermarket.
She was coming out. We were coming out with a 5-gallon of water.
Okay, and when she got to the door, was there a curb or something that caught it? What happened?
I don't know. It just tipped over right there at the door.
I'll bet you there's video of it somewhere.
We didn't have a phone, so we couldn't take a picture of it, you know.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. You don't have any picture or anything. Now, what happened as soon as she fell over? Did you ask Walmart to call an ambulance?
Yes, sir. They called the ambulance, and they took her to the hospital.
Okay. And then what?
And, well, she had to go to surgery the following day.
Uh-oh.
Broken hip.
Oh, no. Now, did you talk to Walmart about filing a claim in case it's their fault?
We did, and they said it wasn't their fault.
Did they say what happened?
No. They just said it's not our fault.
Tom, a lot of these motor carts say in-store use only. So if she was exiting the store, that may have voided their liability.
Let's find that out. Was there a sign that said that, John?
No, sir. We always come out with a cart outside, you know.
Yeah, it's a shopping scooter, isn't it? Whatever they call it.
Yeah, shopping scooter, yeah.
And the shopping scooter, while driving the shopping scooter out the door,
right at the door.
Right at the door?
Yes, sir.
It flipped over. And it was, did it do it fast?
No, it was real slow. She always goes real slow.
Okay. Hold on a second. You know what, Deputy Dan, I'd like to call our personal injury attorney, John Fuller, to get an opinion on this one. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Justin just totaled his car. Let's talk about that coming up.
Introducing
So the fact that they put it in a parking lot doesn't...
I get it.
Yeah. So that may be why Walmart is denying the claim.
I think the Jerry Police Department should be looking at some of those old cases. They still may have a killer out there.
Listen to Algorithm on the iHeartRadio.
Got the final word on the park pass.
All right, let's talk about Genesis. If you need a solar system, Genesis has the best deal in solar right now. Here's why. They sell the systems. There's no cockamamie lease. Never any cash out of pocket. Low interest financing. You get all the tax credits. But listen to this. A 25-year warranty on parts and a 25-year performance guarantee. That's GenesisSolarCO.com, 720-667-4760. If you're looking for a safe, conservative investment, BecomeTheBanker.org is one of them. And the same people that bring you BecomeTheBanker.org, which is a system for saving tax-free and drawing out tax-free. Think about that. There is a way to do it legally and ethically. That means you're guaranteed 4% interest earned plus a 1% dividend. It amounts up pretty quickly. They also bring you the pension for life. And that is incredible. That pension for life. You have a lump sum of money. You can buy yourself income. Find out about both investments at mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com. Now, selling a home. We got Frank Duran here today. Of course, you can put it on the market and sell it. But let's say you don't want to do improvements, repairs, inspections. You just want to move it. You just want to get out of town. Or you just don't have a lot of time. Why not call Homevestors to see what they'll pay? Listen, it may or may not be for you, but here's the good news. You have nothing to lose. It's simply a phone call. And they'll give you a bid on your home. It's that easy. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER. So what do you think about it? I wonder, like I said, I bet you it's good for people that don't want to mess around. But even those houses nowadays are bringing good money, right?
Yeah. I like Homevestors, Tom. You know what? I've had a few clients because of their situation. I said, talk to Homevestors, see what they can do. And they were really good guys. Really good guys.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
There are sometimes, you know, with all the commissions and everything, they may as well just go and take care of it. Just sell it.
I think there's just certain situations where that works out really well, you know. We had this one lady, her home was in horrible, horrible condition. And her situation was very pressed. And we got her in touch with Homevestors, and I think he was able to help her. So.
They performed more than 30,000 successful treatments by combining the most experienced medical staff with their proprietary technology. There's truly no one better or more experienced. Advanced care standard of care goes well beyond CDC guidelines, making this the perfect time to take control. So schedule your free consultation at 730-459-HERE.
Tom, on the 303 magazine, I'll send you some emails, just some thoughts, see what you think. And if you think they'll work good, just for 303, just give you some ideas.
Oh no, let's do some cool stuff. I think we should. Did we go over what you do in their market valuation?
Not yet.
We should do that.
We can do that anytime you're ready.
That would be a good one. Yes.
So that final on the
park pass, say call for free market.
Makes perfect sense. I didn't even realize this thing used to. So $80 is what he spent for the windshield sticker. You spent $40 more, $120. Now you get a hang tag. You can bring that anywhere.
But he didn't spend that.
Apparently not.
But he's trying to use it like a hang tag.
Apparently. So anyway, the guys on the rock is willing to pass that on.
Good.
Dan, what 4 things did Newman require
We were gonna have Mark in here.
as a trade-off to go get those calzones for George?
Oh,
Can you tell me those 4 things?
he got,
Somebody's phone
he
number.
wanted him, the calzone, of course. He wanted, something, a dessert. Was it like a cannoli?
Yeah, cannoli.
Cannoli. Then he wanted a large soda.
And a large soda.
That's 3.
3 times a week, he says, first of all, I want a calzone of my own, and a slice of pepperoni pizza, and a large soda.
Oh, the pizza. The
3 times a week, I shall require a cannoli.
But we wanted to do that. God darn it. When are you coming in next?
I don't know. Whatever.
We wanted a Seinfeld thing with Mark here. So we do it with we have some good Seinfeld guys on YouTube.
Oh, do you right?
They like it and stuff. So
You guys are sick.
no, it's good stuff. Only I watch it a lot. He's only watched it like 10 years ago. And
That's true.
He remembers all this stuff.
You didn't watch it in the beginning?
I didn't care for the first 3 seasons.
Really, the first season.
It got better, I think.
Absolutely. The first season was probably.
If you watch their first season, I almost wonder how they even stayed on the air.
Especially the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode.
Yeah, you're right.
And George wasn't George till later.
Right, and Jerry definitely improved acting a lot after a couple of years. I think he got pretty good.
This report
So,
is sponsored by
it's good stuff. It's all about life.
It's a show about nothing,
remember?
The Fox 31 brother can give you all this heavy, but now is the time to get a new job. Express Employment Professionals never charges job seekers a fee, and has more than 35,000 job openings with high demand in administrative jobs. Find a location near you at expresspost.com or on the Express Jobs app.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 KL.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, the real estate man. Do you ever have people who stop or do not buy due to a homeowners association when they read the covenants? Did you ever have that happen?
Boy, Tom, if I have, I don't remember one recently, that's for sure.
Now, right now, because it's such a hot market, people are buying quickly. Are they less choosy because of it?
I think we find a little bit of that. I think sometimes buyers really need to slow down, Tom. Sometimes they really need to slow down. They get moving.
Why is there such a fever pitch to buy? Are people moving in? Is that what it is?
You have some of that. I read an article that there's rich millennials in their 30s coming in and buying properties too.
From where? From California?
California, and there was another state.
Where are you getting most of your influx from?
Oh my gosh, for us, it comes from all over. We get people moving from in our state.
There's no one area where most people are coming from.
Right, because we have people that are downgrading, upgrading, selling a house to buy a house. Some of them are selling and then buying a builder home with us. So it's all over the board.
Can you still buy fix and flips truly and make money? I mean, what do you think?
They're slim pickings, but you can find them. They're slim.
Like deferred maintenance and stuff where is it easy once you find something like that to get it gone? I would think people are overpaying for them, just like anything.
Well, we have one, actually, it's under contract right now. Very rough condition.
Very rough.
Multiple bidding wars, sold it well over the asking price.
Are you
kidding?
Had
a lot of investors in there, too. Yeah.
Okay, about what size?
Just a bi-level home, maybe about 1,600 total square feet.
What is it going to sell for?
$365,000.
My God, did you just hear that? $365,000 for a bi-level home. Yeah. Not a true two-story, only about 1,600 feet.
Yeah. Rough, really rough condition.
Really rough? Yeah. My goodness.
It was pretty bad.
But what neighborhood is it in?
General neighborhood.
I want to say this is the one we have in Aurora, I believe.
Now, so people, what do? Is that if somebody's going to fix it up to live in it, or is that a fix and flip?
The person actually that's buying it is fixing it up to live in it. It's a project for them.
Man, can you imagine where a fix and flip is $360,000? Okay. Rock says he knows why this guy's given a hard time with his park pass. By the way, this guy got a park pass, and he's supposed to affix it to his windshield or his sun visor, and they're giving him a hard time. So the guy wants to know why. What do you know, Rock?
Just got one a few weeks ago, and I paid an extra $40, and they staple the pass to a mirror hanger with the Colorado emblem on it. And I've been through probably 6 or 7 state parks, and they wave me through. They don't even stop you at the gatehouse. They just wave you on through if you have that hanger on your mirror.
Now, to get a hanger, to put can't he just put his in a hanger?
No, well, no, he'll have to go in. The reason why is because I might take 2 or 3 different vehicles depending on what I'm doing.
No, I understand that. But why do they, so do you pay more for the one that hangs on the mirror?
Yes, $40.
How would they know, though, if the one hanging on the mirror, does it look a lot different than the one you put on the windshield?
No, it's the exact same one, but the Parks and Wildlife Office will physically take your pass and put it on one of their hangers.
Oh, I get. Oh my God! So an extra $40, you buy a hanger that they approve.
Correct. That's exactly right. And then they wave you through. You won't get stopped.
So, okay, and this is a silly question, but is there something special about the hanger that they know it's theirs and they know somebody didn't just go out and buy?
Oh, yeah. It's a very specific. I could even text you an image later or whatever.
Okay, so it's a very special hanger, and they know as soon as you're driving in, oh, that's one of our hangers, they paid the extra $40.
Correct. And your actual pass that they staple to it is the same whether you affix it to a windshield or they staple it to their specific hanger.
That is crazy. I would have never found that out without talking to somebody. I mean, directly. It's not something I'll bet you'll find on the internet. So, with the state park passes, you buy the same pass. If you buy a regular pass, it has to be affixed to a clamp on your visor or to your windshield because they don't want you trading them or, letting other people use them. If you buy their hanger, that same pass can go in a hanger for an extra $40, and that allows you to switch vehicles. But it's a very special hanger, and they know their hanger. Is that crazy? Hey, use that in a trivia game one time. John, welcome. What's going on, John, with this? We're still waiting. Deputy Doc, did we get John Fuller? Did he call back? Hold on, John. We're still trying to get you that legal advice. Hang on. Justin, your car was just totaled. It's a great time to talk, so you're not screwed. Whose fault was it? Was it your at-fault accident, yours, or what?
Hey, Tom, no, it was her fault. It was one of those rainstorms in May, just in a red light, got just clobbered, rear-ended, had a 2010 Mazda, so it was worth,
I'll guarantee she was texting. I have seen no less than 10 young, people under 30 texting in their car while driving. No less than 10 of them. I mean, they're full out texting while they're driving.
You can always tell because they're doing 20 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone.
Or they're going faster, which is more dangerous. But, Justin, so you got rear-ended. Your car is totaled. That must have been one hell of a thing. How are you doing as far as injuries? Do you have anything?
No, I'm good. She was probably going, 25, 30. I might agree with whatever that comment just was.
Okay.
Maybe she was distracted going slightly there. But so 2 questions. One, I took it in. They gave me a super lowball offer, caliber collision. I knew it wasn't going to be good. I was like, there's more than this. I took it in to be repaired, deciding, okay, fine, they'll repair it. It wasn't totaled out. I thought it might have been. Like 2.5 weeks later, they called me and say, oh, this is totaled out now. I was on the road out in the East Coast. So first question, do I have to accept their offer? Can I bargain? They're offering me $6,000 almost on the dot, just a bit over, which is probably low Blue Book, but probably still somewhat fair. But time, energy, stuff like that, any considerations?
No time and energy. What do you mean time and energy for what?
Well, just going back and forth to the shop a few times. I had.
This is the other insurance company you're dealing with, or yours?
Her insurance company.
No, that for sure. If you want to go after her for anything more than absolute property damage, you have to sue her or negotiate a settlement for pain and suffering. And believe it or not, that falls under pain and suffering, okay? There's property damage and there's pain and suffering. Under pain and suffering, you also have medical bills, and you have loss of time of work. You have the hassle of getting your car fixed, or lack of use of car, all of that stuff. You can do a lawsuit, but did you have doctor's bills? Do you have pain? All of that. You don't have to answer that now. Let's talk about property damage. What I would do, just to avoid hassle, is to see what they offer first, and then see if you can replace it with a like vehicle for that price. It's that easy. And if you can't, then you buy. Then you go after the other driver for your losses. You do not have to accept anything that company offers you. You don't even have to talk to them. But don't be unrealistic either. A lot of people gauge what they're owed by what they owe. And that's not accurate. Your car is not worth what you paid for it. You may have overpaid.
No. I paid Blue Book 5 or 6 years ago, and it's paid off. But that goes right into the second part of my question. This is more of asking your advice on if it is totaled out. The new car market is what, 15, 20, 30% higher used cars from last year on year.
Well, hold on. No. New and used cars are both up proportionately. They're both up. Yeah. You're not going to get a better deal on either.
Right. So is it a thing where you're just kind of screwed on timing on this one?
Yeah, you're screwed. But here's the deal. There's always a deal to be made, always, okay? I know people say, well, new cars are going blah, 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 blah. But, and to a certain extent, that's true. New cars are getting more expensive. But it doesn't change the basis of the cars they have on the lot left over. Some of the cars they bought at the older prices. Now, their argument to you will be, well, we still have to replace that car with another car, which is going to be more expensive. But that argument can be used all the time. You always have to replace your inventory. So what I would do is if I find something they bought under the old system, I mean before the surcharges, before the shortage, like a leftover 20 if you find one, or a 2021 that they got that was early on that they didn't sell. If you find a car they bought under the old basis, you can probably negotiate a better deal. Right now, because new cars are pretty high and used cars are pretty high, it's probably the worst time to buy a new car because you get not only the basic depreciation, but that premium you pay the day after you drive off the lot's gone, okay? It's going to be a tough time in the future when all of these people have paid way over sticker for their cars because they're going to have overvalued cars and they're going to owe a lot of money and they're not going to be able to pay it off. That's another bubble waiting to burst. So if I were you, what kind of vehicle did you have?
It was a 2010 Mazda. So I guess, and the very last part is if I offer to pay in cash at a dealership or maybe even a private or used at a dealership, what kind of discount should I push for or can expect? I've never really understood what the...
Okay, you're asking a great question. I'm going to tell you something shocking about paying in cash if you hold on.
I will. I'm glad you're asking these questions.
It's the worst thing to do. And if you're going to do it, don't tell them until the very end, after the papers are filled out, right?
No, because they can change it.
Well, no. If you sign, the bottom line is $20,316.
No, they will not sign a deal with incentives in it unless you sign the financing.
Really?
They're not stupid. They absolutely, positively will not give you an out. If they give you a special discount because you're doing their financing, it's going to say that you're doing their financing. Otherwise, people would do that all the time.
But I heard the best thing to do is to finance it partially, pay it for 6 months, and then pay off the loan.
Or 4 months, yeah, that's right.
And that way you get the discount and you get a good credit boost.
You can ask them. You can ask them how many months minimum. There's a minimum number you have to keep it. Precious gold and silver, silver, titanium, platinum, whatever. You're being paid for precious metals when you sell your old jewelry, old watches, old coin collections, old earrings, old bracelets, necklaces, whatever you have. But here's the point, is that you need to know who you're dealing with. I only recommend one place locally, DavidEllisJewelers.com in Cherry Creek at 3rd and Clayton. He's been there for 40 years. You need someone you know and trust. I know and trust David. I know and trust DavidEllisJewelry.com. But there's something else. Don't ever send it away on the internet anyway, even if you weren't dealing with him. Don't ever send away your stuff. Sometimes you don't get it back. Other times they lie to you about the value and it's a hassle to get it back. Don't do that. And don't meet people at hotel rooms when they say they'll be in town for a few days buying gold and silver. Go to someone you know and trust. DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton. If you're doing estate planning, use BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris is there to answer all of your questions about estate planning. He doesn't charge you for each and every question. That's why you can always call him. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Blake, do I need a will? Blake, how would a trust help me? Blake, what about my cryptocurrency? Does that need to be in a trust? Can you help me with the Bitcoin? And what do we have to make a settlement for Bitcoin with heirs? How does that work? He can tell you how to protect yourself while you're alive from needless lawsuits and creditors and from the cost of long-term care even. And then he can tell you how to protect your heirs and your estate. All of that from BlakeHarrisLaw.com. 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833-ASK-BLAKE.
So here's an idea. When I die, I can have my son take my titanium brace out of my back and sell it to David Ellis to pay for the funeral.
You could. Is titanium expensive?
I don't know, but it's part of his commercial.
You know what? People take gold teeth.
Right.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nazis did a lot of that.
I have an old Indian chief $5 bill from 1899.
Yeah.
And it's worth about $500 right now.
Really?
Can you believe that?
Yeah. Anything old is worth money except people.
Supply and demand, right?
Yeah, there's too many of us old.
Plenty of people, man.
Except that they turn us into Soylent Green. Remember that?
I remember Soylent Green. Yeah. They were kind of off on the future. If you watch that now.
Yeah.
So was Back to the Future. They were off too. But I used to think back in 1984. Yeah, we probably will have flying cars in the year 2000.
I'll tell you, the thing that I always remember is, and Tom, you probably remember this, Popular Science, Popular Mechanics always had self-driving cars on highways. And they always assumed it would be a wire underneath the road that the car would be able to read. They never envisioned GPS satellites doing that.
Right, right. Yeah.
I remember the highways of the future. They would just drive and there'd be a wire under the road telling you what to do.
It's incredible what could be accomplished.
It is.
It's the people who think big.
I'll tell you, my dad, who passed away when he was 101, so he passed away in 2016, and he said the most unbelievable thing in his lifetime was the fact that people were paying $3 for water. I mean, we grew up in New York City, which had the best water in the world. He said, all this other computer stuff and science, I can understand, but people paying $3 for a bottle of water, I never would have guessed that.
That's true. You know, it's funny. When you've been to Disney, or California Disneyland?
No.
Those guys are so. A bottle of water could be like $5 over there out of a machine.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. I remember my grandfather. I remember gasoline went up to like 79 cents one time, and I remember he kind of flipped like, "Man, it's really getting expensive." I would love to see the look on his face right now.
Right.
What gas is today?
Well, look what cigarettes are.
Yeah.
They're like $5 a pack.
Are they really? Oh my.
Something like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I mean, to spend $5 a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. My mother and father-in-law smoke a lot, but I don't get it. I don't know.
Ask them how much you're paying for a pack of cigarettes. You won't believe it.
A lot of money.
And it's all tax.
Can you imagine if you put that money like in an interest-bearing account, though, what you make over 20 years?
Oh, it would be crazy.
It's crazy.
I used to smoke, and the last time I smoked was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was like 50 cents a pack.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you. And here it is. If you call us, we put somebody on it, we follow it up, and we try to make it right if we can. If we can't, we give you information on why or where we think you went wrong. But no matter what, this show is educational. We have some additional information on this park pass. Man, we never realized how much there was to a park pass. You buy a park pass, it comes as a card, and you can display that card on your windshield. It has to be affixed to the windshield or the visor, and then you can use it. You can't use it loose. And if you hang it from a mirror with their special hanger that you pay extra for, then they allow you to change it with vehicles. Bob, what else do you have on it?
Hey, Tom, there's also a handicap American the Beautiful Park Pass that, like, I got mine because I'm more than 50% disabled through the military. So it's a lifetime park pass for those. And the same thing, they wanted in the
How much does a lifetime pass cost?
It was free with my disability.
Oh. Well, how do they look? Do they look different?
I can send you a picture of it.
Now, do you have to affix
the normal pass? Only this one.
How do you use that? Do you use it loose, or does it have to be affixed, or what?
No, it has to be affixed in that hang tag, and I've got both of those in my hand right now. If you want me to send you a picture of it. So
Yeah. So wait. So all of yours are on a hang tag?
Mine is, and again, it's handicapped access.
So if you have disabilities, you get a free park pass for life.
I can't tell you disabilities. I know when I went through with my disabled veterans license plate, they handed me the packet of information to fill out for.
Okay, well, that's what I mean. You're a disabled vet, right?
That's right.
Oh, okay. You're saying you're not sure if that's for all disabilities, but you know for disabled veterans, they get the free pass.
That's correct, sir.
Yeah, and that would make sense to me for your service in that. That's interesting. Now, Dan, we really need to get a hold of John Fuller for this guy. Did you get a hold of him yet? I mean, he's been waiting. Did the attorney call back? I don't know.
No, not. I didn't even know I was supposed to call him.
Line 2, man. Line 2. Yeah, a long time ago I want to try to get John Fuller to answer his question. We only have a few minutes left. Now, John, for some reason, man, if we can't get John on in the next few minutes, we will do it in the morning. But we really need to talk to you about this, because I'm not saying that they're responsible, but I do know that they can't just say, I don't know. It seems like they're giving you the brush off.
Yeah, they are.
When did this happen? How long ago?
Last week.
Okay, good. It's recent. Here's the deal, John. She was simply driving very slowly on this scooter, their shopping cart scooter, on the way out, and right at the door, it flipped over.
It flipped over, yeah.
Did it hit anything?
No, it didn't hit nothing.
How did it flip over, do you think?
I think it was the water that was we had a 5-gallon water in it, in the basket.
And you think it was like, is your wife heavy set?
No.
And do you think that
20 miles?
Do you think that the water made it unbalanced?
It could be. But she had to avoid hitting two people that were walking in. So I guess she killed.
All right. So she was driving this. Let me bring up John Fuller now. We did get him. Thanks, Dan. John Fuller, our personal injury expert. This is a little unusual, John. Those shopping carts provided by the store that you drive on, I guess they're a shopping scooter of sorts. she was wheeling or driving it out of Walmart, and when she got to the door, apparently 2 people were coming in, so she had to steer around them, and she had a 5-gallon bucket or a 5-gallon, bottle of water in the cart, and when she went to swerve out of the way of those people, it sounds like the weight of that water made it unbalanced, and it went over on its side. She broke her hip. Is that right, John? Caller John, is that right? Are you there, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does that sound about right? She was turning to get away from those people coming her way. She had the water bottle in the basket, and it was a little unbalanced, and it went over?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there was nothing you could do to stop it, and she broke her hip. And they say what? They say we're not responsible for anything. They called the ambulance, and then you called them back?
Yes, sir.
And when you called them back, what did you specifically say?
They sent us a letter, and they said that they wasn't responsible.
Okay, good. They sent you a letter. And did they say after reviewing the film or the tape or anything like that?
No, they just said that they asked the people that were working in the store, and they said it was an accident.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have that letter?
Yes, sir.
I'd like you to send it. So where is your wife now? Is she still in the hospital?
She went to the hospital last week, whole week. They put a rod in her leg, and then she's on rehab right now.
How old is she?
She's 75.
John Fuller, I mean, this could be nothing. This could be something. I don't know. What is your gut reaction to this?
Who placed the water jug in the cart?
Who did you hear that, John? He asked, who put the water jug in the cart?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so when you got checked out, you put it in the basket.
Yes, sir.
And, okay. John Fuller, what do you think? Do you think that they should be made stable enough where they don't tip over?
Well, I think that, there's an inherent trade-off between maneuverability and stability. And if they made them as wide and as low as a go-kart, they would never flip over in a million years. If they made them as wide and flat as a go-kart, nobody else could go down the aisle that they're shopping in.
Right.
And so this is a rather common design. Those carts mimic a lot of carts that are commercially available for our handicapped residents and stuff.
Right.
And I suspect that there's some assumption of the risk that goes along with operating those, but I also know that they are adorned pretty heavily with warning labels, and those 5-gallon bottles of water are heavy, and I suspect that anything heavy you place in a basket like that has a tendency to affect the tippiness of that cart, or to make it more prone than it might ordinarily be if it didn't have that bottle of water in it. So I think you're going to have a combination of an assumption of the risk defense coupled with an outright, accusation that any risk that was there was created by the improper placement of the bottle by her husband. And unfortunately, those are both defenses that I think will come back to minimize any liability that the store might have had.
Is it hard to get a copy of the tape or a video if they have it?
It's incredibly difficult to get a copy of it.
Hey, John, if it says...
Just wait on this. We have to take this break, John, but what was the question? He can think about it, or we can...
If it says in-store use only and she was exiting the store, is that a contributing
Yeah, what about
factor?
that? What if it did say in-store only?
No, it's you could go into the parking lot.
Okay, all right. But if it did have restrictions, John, you're expected to follow those restrictions, right?
Yeah, right.
Now, listen, here's the deal. By the way, John Fuller, for free legal advice with injuries, 303-597-4500. You may still want to call caller John to see maybe if there's something to it.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, something slowing things down on the southbound I-25 drive through North Glen and Thornton. Possibly some debris southbound at 84th, so use some extra caution through there. An accident on westbound I-76 just past 96, causing some minor slowing there. And roadwork backing things up on eastbound I-76 between E470 and 144th. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy this afternoon, cooling off to the low 60s overnight tonight. Some scattered thunderstorms possible tomorrow for your Thursday with a high in the upper 80s. It's 96 right now in Denver. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Now is the time to...
35,000 job openings with high demand in construction, driving, logistics, and administrative tasks. Apply to location near you with ExpressPros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
Granite Liquidators wholesale to the public. That's right. If you go to graniteliquidators.com, you'll find out more. And you can buy your stone, whether it be granite or quartz or marble or any slab material that comes from nature, they have. And they sell it wholesale to you. So you get to see the whole slab. You get to buy the whole slab and use it any way you want. You can pick a part for the kitchen, a part for the bathroom, a part for backsplash, a part for windowsills. And they put your name on it and store it there until you're ready. So shop for your stone first, because that's not easily changed out. You want to decorate around the stone. GraniteLiquidators.com, wholesale to the public. The yard is in Wheat Ridge. Find out more on the website, GraniteLiquidators.com. You know, Century RV has been with me many years, and people come from all over the country to see Century RV because they know Century RV has the best prices around. But there's more than just price. There's service. They have wonderful service on the new stuff and the used stuff, both. They even sell used RVs as well. CenturyRV.com. Up north at exit 240 and I-25, or out west, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. 303-453-1111, CenturyRV.com, 453-1111. Hey, I need some specifics for the powers. What they want, they acknowledge there's a problem. So when you see a rec live, when you see those, I need to actually go in and take a picture of the lot. They want to see the order and all that. Yeah, or any day. We don't have to go back. But from now on, if you see them, let me know. We're trying to figure it out. Because there's some of them, yeah, they're just not supposed to be there.
Before I start with Blue Sky CBD, I have questions as well. You know, how does CBD work? Is it going to work for you? Can you use CBD with your current meds? This is a great opportunity to hear Dr. Dornan. This Wednesday at 2 o'clock, he's going to be at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Littleton, and on Friday at 2 p.m. at the Resort Lifestyle Communities in Aurora. Get your questions ready. And don't forget, you still get 30% off your first order by using promo code KHOW. And that lets you try the half-ounce deep relief balm. That has been a lifesaver for me. You get that now for $15. Blue Sky CBD at bluesky-cbd.com.
AJ sent me the one without the announce on it, but I can give it to Shannon if you want. All right.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. We're running out of time. Frank Duran, what's involved? And I will try to get all of your calls, by the way. What's involved in the valuation of a home? Do you just look it up online?
A little bit of everything, Tom. I go see.
You go there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Unless they ask me for an over the net.
No, but really, yeah. For a free market, true evaluation that you do, you actually visit the home.
I do, and I look at the actives, the solds, the under contracts, even the coming soon listings.
Really,
it's getting ready to hit the market.
And do you look at the house itself, the condition, and all of that?
We look at everything. Absolutely, we look. In fact, I go through with my camera and go through the client's home so I can get all the details.
So this is not just cursory. This is not just courtesy drive-by. This is a full...
I physically go. Meet a lot of great people, too.
And so some of them never end up listing because there's no obligation.
That's right. There's no obligation. And there's just some people, every now and then, hey, Frank, could you come on down? We need an analysis. We're happy to do it.
No fooling. Yeah. So, of course, it does make it easier eventually if they do want to list because you know a lot about the house. But this is totally free with no obligation from someone you can trust. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Now, Justin, the car... he hung up, but I wanted to talk about valuing the total vehicle and then also the injury thing. Justin, you ought to be looking at possible injuries and going after that person for this, but valuing the used car to make sure you're getting the right deal is to make sure you can replace it. And one great place we have is on the referral list called PettyDetails.com. They will value it based on real comps and real life and actually go and provide you with a document that has been used in court before. PettyDetails.com, and it only costs $350, and I think it's money well spent. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Troubleshooter Show with Frank Duran. Don't forget that free market valuation. And don't forget referralist.com for help, information, and referrals. Now, until tomorrow, keep calling 303-MARTINO, please, and leave these lines clear. 303-MARTINO.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you. Good to see you, Doc. My gosh, good to see you, everybody. My
Frank, let me have your headset forever. I need to put it in the drawer.
Yeah, sure. You got honest to God. It's been good to see you, man. A long time, brother. Of course, we did those spots.
Yeah, you and I do stuff together, sure. And anything else you need, you let me know, Frank.
Are you doing any TV? I want to do some more TV with you. I was going to ask you about that.
Okay, what are you going to do? What channel and what do you want to do? I think we should do something really
What channel do you think is the best?
Well, you get what you pay for. Yeah. So really, I think Channel 9 and Channel Fox is a real good deal, and Channel 9. Those other ones are just a hit and miss, really. Right. I mean, they're all waning. By the way, you don't get what you